There's a road in Quarten, Switzerland that defies all explanation according to some, and a lot of people have been nervously checking it out. Here's the deal. If you go to this stretch of mountainous highway on Google Maps, it looks pretty normal at first, but don't look up unless you want a scare. This is when the scenery goes from pleasant to mysterious. That's because peeking out from the sky is what appears to be a strange pink-red monument, or else some kind of giant being with its arm held out. You can click up and down any part of this road and still look up to find whatever this strange anomaly is gazing down from above. Some people say this sky sighting is a creature, but I have a much more rational and less exciting explanation. I'm pretty sure this is part of the pole on top of the car that the camera is attached to. Normally this part of the car is edited out, but I guess some kind of glitch in their algorithm let a piece of it show. As a result, it looks like something suspended high above. That's my theory at least. Let me know if you agree, or if you think this really was some kind of strange sighting in the sky. Costa Rica is full of many beautiful sights. Under your pillow is not one of them.
Scorpion on my pillow.
Is it alive?
I'd say it's very much still alive. A gigantic stinger is curled high above at the ready. I don't know if he was sleeping under this terrifying creature all night, but I think he might have been. If so, he's really lucky he never fluffed the pillow. Seriously though, I really want to know what kind of scorpion this is, and how risky this event really was. Don't Let Her In, published in November of 2021 by Taja Fact. This CCTV footage is chilling. Two women are at work in a computer lab when one of them leaves. After a moment, the sliding door slams shut, scaring the young woman who is left alone. Alarmed, she turns in her seat towards the door but later returns to her work. Shortly after, the lights start flickering on and off in the hallway, and a creepy figure is standing in the doorway. It looks like a young woman in white, with her dark hair hanging over her face. When the woman is finally alerted to the figure's presence, she slowly gets up to go look, although we're left to wonder what happens next. Maybe we shouldn't find out. Don't Look Out the Window, published in November of 2011 by Mr. Jocko van Heerden. A group of friends just hanging out has one more hanger-on than expected in this scary video, filmed in Johannesburg, South Africa. The young people are just chilling in a bedroom when something catches their eye. Turning toward the sliding glass door, an enormous pale creature is standing outside their window watching.
Posição baita, sim.
The creepy creature's features are vague, and at first it's not hard to tell if what's there is actually a living figure or not, but then it very clearly moves. Someone in the room gasps as the enormous figure lurks out of sight. What is this thing? Is it supernatural or extraterrestrial? And why is it watching them? I don't think I'd feel safe in that house ever again after this. Two unexplained videos have captured a strange sighting of a humanoid figure floating over Phoenix, Arizona. Anyone know what that is? Writes one of them in a Snapchat video posted on March of 2020. So far, no one has any idea. The uploader goes on to explain that they were in their backyard when a mysterious figure silently floated over them, an all-black outline with what they describe as wings in the middle. While I do see what he's talking about, I doubt they are wings because they are not moving. It looks more like a jetpack or something, and yet I don't see any exhaust, so it's probably not that either. An experimental drone or a weather balloon would be my next guess, and if it's not that, then maybe it's a kite shaped like a person. With that said, it's been over a year, and the strange sky sighting videos over Phoenix are still without explanation. The mystery is unsolved. A man in South Dakota questions whether this spooky CCTV video is genuine paranormal activity or something else. It looks like it absolutely has to be the wind at first, except for three things. 1. The window's closed. 2. The blue curtain doesn't move at all whatsoever, which it should be doing if this really was the wind. 3. At 18 seconds it looks like a ghostly handprint is pushing against the curtain when zoomed in. There is a large space at the bottom that is blocked from view and unaccounted for. Somebody could be laying down there and hit the curtain with their hand, in which case this strange video has just been successfully debunked. But I guess we'll never know if that was the case or not. When you're arguing whether a shirt is red or maroon, the ghosts in your presence will know they've had enough of you two. Published to YouTube in May of 2020, this is what happens when a ghost gets fed up with your bickering, throws up his hands and storms out of the house he's haunting. The uploader explains that during their last visit to this place, they experienced the door slamming but didn't have a chance to record it, so this time they returned to capture it on film. This video is cut down to 3 minutes of the 50 that were recorded. The clip shows the boys arguing whether or not one of their shirts is red, before deciding to call it quits with the filming, since it had been nearly an hour. Just then, something clearly slams in the distance. The uploader says his friend thought it was the hinges of the door rather than a ghost, but decides that the video is proof it wasn't the hinges. He also claims that he and a friend saw a shadow person in this building as well. The uploader writes, "Something said that it could have been air in the last upload, but it wasn't sure. The thing, if it was air, it would have opened it. The air is coming from outside, so it would push out to open. Instead, what we caught was a ghost slamming the door the opposite direction of where the air was coming from, so the force of the door slamming was going against the air." This was filmed in Harlingen, Texas, and there wasn't much airflow in the place according to the uploader. The group was sweating from so much stale heat. Well, maybe the ghost was too. This unnerving doorbell cam footage was taken somewhere in New Mexico. A random person walks up to a house in the middle of the night and just basically goes crazy without warning. They appear to have lost all sense of reason as they first yank on the doorbell cam and then start to scale the wall. It's unclear if they are really trying to gain access to the house itself or if they are just out of their minds and doing whatever spontaneously comes next. After a while, they come back into view and kind of wobble around. This next part sounds like they might have even fallen over, but I'm not exactly sure. Overall, the strange man seems more confused than necessarily looking to cause havoc, but I would still not want to encounter this potential maniac either way. A ghost hunter named Solo Ambush goes exploring an abandoned morgue in the woods full of creepy things. The place has been deserted for years, but the smell of bodies has buried itself into the morgue walls. This table surface must be where they were prepared for burial. On it, he finds a needle to sew whatever shut. He puts it in his pocket, which possibly upsets the spirits because that's when the paranormal activity begins. He puts an object on the table and invites any spirits nearby to make it move.
Ada lagi. Dia sudah mula bunyi.
A defiant spirit moves things behind him instead. When he goes to investigate the noise, he finds nothing, and then he gets an idea.
Okay, let's switch off the light.
A figure in red silently passes across the floor of the haunted, abandoned mortuary with its head down. He runs after it and finds only the stench of decay is left in its wake, nothing else.
Bau busuk lagi.
He says this ghost sighting could be a reflection of light, but he is standing in a dark hallway with the lights off, so I'm not sure I agree with that one. Like many of the previously haunted places he's gone exploring in the past, what he's caught on tape in this building is most likely paranormal and terrifying, and as he leaves, something slams the door closed behind him. The ghost hunter is no longer welcome to go exploring this haunted place. Not that he ever was to begin with. 3 photos and videos were shared on Facebook in Indonesia, showcasing the same strange phenomenon in the sky, posted by Mr. Potek in November of 2019, with a video credited to Setiawan. The unidentified object was filmed in Aceh, backlit by a bright moon. This mysterious flying or floating object appears to just hang there at the side of the moon. The object isn't shaped like a flying saucer, but its origins are equally as mysterious, viewed at several different angles. I don't come any closer to recognizing what this object is. The local police were reportedly terrified by its appearance. Should they be? What do you think it is? You think winter roads are bad, and you've probably never ridden your bike here. This incident occurred in India in 2018. The uploader explains that it was his 3rd day of riding from Indore to Pangong Lake, and he had just partnered with another rider who joined him on his solo trip. He writes that the pass was slippery that day and was loaded with trucks. The result is a close call his friend met with, which he caught on camera. The footage shows the pair of bikers on a narrow mountain road with nothing but a cliff edge and a 100+ foot fall to their right. In front of them is a truck transporting heavy metal poles. As they follow quite closely behind this truck, it looks as though his friend is going to attempt to overtake the vehicle on the cliffside with little to no shoulder, but that attempt comes to a quick end when his heavy bike with all his belongings piled onto the back loses traction on the slushy ground. It falls onto its side dangerously near the cliff edge. If he'd been even a foot nearer the edge, he would have been a goner. As fate would have it, his life was spared that day, and as Banda writes, hopefully this teaches other riders to ride safe, live long. Here's why you should never look down during a hailstorm.
Holy I felt the shockwave from that.
A bolt of lightning cracks across the brick wallway in front of him. I felt the shock waves, he says as he runs inside, but in truth, he's lucky he didn't feel something a lot worse. The moral of this scary video, if there is one, is to never go outside during this kind of weather. No exceptions. Not even the doorstep is safe. These strange sounds in the sky have never been properly explained. I found no less than 5 different incidents of the exact same grinding and humming metal on metal noise. Sometimes it comes from far away, like this one from Germany. And sometimes it echoes throughout the whole city, like this one from France. And sometimes it sounds like it's breaking directly overhead, like this one from Edmonton, Canada. But out of all of them, this recording from an unknown Spanish-speaking country is the clearest. These people are from around the world and obviously can't all know each other, yet each video is recorded between 2015 and 2016. I don't know if this is a warning, an experiment, or what, but I'm worried that one day we will find out. A YouTuber named Leo Tran is challenged to throw a plastic bottle cap into a trash bag from across the room. At 1 minute into the video, you can see something is out of the ordinary, but at 1 minute and 23 seconds, you can see a small face pop up in the window. The small face stays in the window for approximately 33 seconds and ducks out of the way when Leo goes to collect the trash bag. Does this look real or edited to you? A street cam video from Papua New Guinea has caught something really bizarre on tape that I wanted to get your opinion on. A pale apparition appears to form under a street signal, and what it does next leaves government workers speechless. This ghost sighting could be a trick of the light. You can see the headlights of an approaching vehicle at 12 seconds right when the ghost supposedly flies up into the air. What they think is a ghost could be an optical illusion caused by rays of light bending towards the camera on a rainy day. Something is haunting the lobby of England's Brighton Museum, according to those who work there. This creepy moment, caught on CCTV video at 3 a.m., could be the paranormal proof they need to be taken seriously. The camera captures a bright light and then a souvenir mysteriously falls to the ground with no one near. Kind of like a ghost moved the object, employees would later say. I think the quote-unquote mysterious light could be a glass object reflecting light as it falls over. Maybe the shelf is a little unlevel. Maybe an employee or a visitor put it too close to the edge. I am 50-50 on this one, and will be sure to keep an eye out for other paranormal events caught on camera at this possibly haunted museum. A bolt lock can't keep the paranormal out. Published by Dark Ghost Paranormal in April of 2021, this is a true house of horrors. As Russian paranormal investigator Dennis looks around the unsettling home, something appears to let itself in. Dennis backs off and shuts the door behind him, but that doesn't stop the unwelcome guest. After verifying that there's no one there, Dennis returns to his investigation. Close by, he hears a loud knock. Later, the wardrobe drawers open on their own. And what looks like newspaper is shoved up from one of them. Then the wardrobe doors open one at a time. The second one repeatedly swings open and shut. Dennis walks toward it and there's nothing inside, yet it continues to open and close. This occurs for several minutes. Later, he hears a noise. A bunch of racket draws him to this cupboard. It sounds like all the dishes inside are jumping around. Opening the cupboard doors, he finds nothing out of place. He then hears another noise and finds a bag moving as it hangs on the wall, like there's an animal trapped inside of it. He takes the bag from its hook and opens it, but again, there's nothing inside. When he puts it back down on the bed, it continues to move. What is inhabiting this haunted home? Whatever it is, it let itself in. This ghost is trying to bum a ride. Posted by Ghost Videos in July of 2020. A man was driving in Johor, Malaysia when he crossed paths with a hitchhiking spirit. The dashcam footage shows a dark, empty room at night. According to the timestamp, it's around 2 in the morning in July of 2019. As the car barrels down the road, a semi-transparent figure appears in the dark lane on the right. You can barely make out the apparition, as it holds out its thumb to catch a ride. What do you think? A live person half hidden in the darkness? Hitchhiking in the darkness of night? If so, what is the spirit's destination? We may never know. A musical performance tunes up the paranormal apparently. Published by Chloe Fantion in July of 2013. 2 men are playing music together in a bedroom, one guitarist and one violinist. They wrap up their song and leave the room, letting their camera roll. Once they've left, a shirt drapes over the shelf, falling down strangely, like there's a body inside. A moment later, items fall from the top shelf, and then both instruments start moving at once. The guitar falls completely off of the bed. Was this duo's music so haunting that it conjured up the paranormal? Or is something even more sinister going on here? This man thought he'd get away with it, but he was sorely mistaken. Published by Link in July of 2019. The suspect is seen crossing a quiet road at night in June of 2019 at around 3 in the morning. As the vehicle approaches, he hurries across the road and hides under the front end of a parked truck in a driveway. After the vehicle passes, the dude rolls from under the truck and puts his hood on. He then tries to enter the truck because the door is unlocked, but before he can snatch any valuables, the car alarm goes off, undoubtedly waking up the whole neighborhood. And the would-be burglar flees across the street. I think we can all agree this attempt failed miserably. This is some of the most convincing footage I've seen in a while. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by AMRV_5, this poltergeist activity left this resident with more questions than answers. The Redditor explains that she's been living in this apartment with 2 roommates for months, and they've noticed that nothing seems to stay on the walls, from pictures to posters. Due to the home's age, they thought that a lack of insulation and drafts were causing tape and sticky tack not to stay put. After being gifted some original artwork, they put some framed pictures up on the walls with nails, but the very first night, both of the frames fell from the wall. This happened a couple of nights in a row. One night, one of the pictures started moving slightly, so the Redditor broke out her camera and captured this. The video shows the frame moving, just as they'd witnessed before. It happened several times, and then the rolling chair swivels around. No one is near it. The Redditor pleads, "Can anyone tell me what this is? What's going on here?" Well, some in the comments think there must be fishing line involved. Some are suggesting that perhaps an air vent came on. There is in fact a vent up in the corner of the room. Still, others think it could possibly be a paranormal entity. A second video seems to suggest it's the latter. In the video, the Redditor does a vent test to see if the heating cycle is causing any sort of disturbance to the frame. As she's standing there waiting for the heater to come on, a loud disturbance is heard outside her room. She heads over to investigate and finds a boot thrown on a stair below. As she's looking around, another loud bang is heard from back in her room. When she returns, the frame has fallen from the wall onto her desk. She notes that the air has not come on yet, while Redditors are convinced by the second video. Many are agreeing with then Safety 5971, who writes, "If it's fake, you still got me. What do you think? I can't think of any explanations outside of the paranormal. This house guest is eternal." Published by Jojo Owens in February of 2022, Jojo explains that he, his wife, and several guests in his home had witnessed a shadow-like movement in the living room out of the corner of their eyes. That's why when Owens heard a noise in the back room one night while his wife was sleeping, he set up his phone camera to record. This is what he captured. A tall shadowy figure is seen moving across the lit doorway at the end of the room. After witnessing this, Owens grabbed his phone camera to investigate, but turned up nothing. Neither was there anything in the room that might cast this shadow. Although one commenter suggested that there may be someone squatting in the Owens home, Owens said this has been going on for 3 years, so it's highly unlikely. To whom does this shadow belong then? When this early riser arrived at work at 6 a.m., she didn't expect to find her first customer waiting. Posted to TikTok by The Blaze Beauty, the worker exits the kitchen and enters the cafe area, revealing a figure standing just outside the front window. She walks toward it. At first, you can't tell if the figure is facing away from or toward the window, but as she steps closer, it looks like the figure is facing toward it, though you cannot see its face. The figure then slams the window with one gloved hand. What is this thing?
Bro. What? Oh, girl. Oh my.
And what does it even want? Many in the comments are shocked that she even approached. Others think he's harmless and just wants a burger. What do you think? It's the window slam that makes me feel like their intentions are nefarious. Who would win in a swamp fight, a deer or an alligator? You're about to see. Published by Hazy Season in June of 2019. This scary video was captured at Squaw Creek Reservoir in Glen Rose, Texas. At first, the fisherman thinks he's looking at a huge fish.
Look at those. What is that? Is that a dead fish?
But as he gets closer, he realizes it's a deer in the water. The deer is no longer alive, and it's being pulled down into the water's depths.
Looks like a deer, dude. It's a dead deer. Holy.
By something that is so far unseen. The crew is wondering what's gotten hold of it. They watch for a moment and soon realize a gator's got him. They then let nature take its course.
Dude, what happened? Did it just like fall down this hill? Holy.
Although we probably all could have guessed that the gator would win this battle, I'm sure we were all rooting for the underdog. If you're going to cage a phantom, you're going to need a bigger door. Posted by Wo Cuyahoga. This footage shows you can't keep a ghost locked up. The hunters are holding an EMF meter toward a locked set of doors. After a moment, something pounds against the door and then rattles it, trying to get out. I'm not sure what the context of this video is, but one thing's certain. Whatever's inside is not staying there. Sound outside your house, which you have the courage to investigate. Redditor Ponce Flans uploaded a video clip of whatever was going on outside his home to Reddit. In the clip, it sounds like Ponce is opening his blinds, and outside you see nothing but darkness and a few streetlights, but nothing too disturbing. You can hear a faint murmuring, but it's only when he opens the window that you hear the strange howling, reverberating nearby. The weird sing-song howl doesn't exactly sound human, but it's hard to pinpoint what it does sound like. It continues over and over again. As Ponce notes, it sounded at first like it was coming from right outside his house, but on second thought, maybe it's coming from below the bridge.
I thought it was coming from right outside my house, but it looks like it may be under the bridge.
At the end of the video, you hear what is very much a human voice screaming.
What?
Some say in the comments that it's telling whoever is howling to be quiet. Many commenters call this sound unsettling and disturbing, while others suggest that Ponce go see what it is. Soiled Sanchez seems to have the most likely explanation. It's a train with empty hopper cars, he writes. Bad wheels or wailing ghosts. I know I wouldn't want this sound waking me up at 3 a.m. A paranormal investigator named Exist wants to see if ghosts exist in an abandoned funeral parlor in South Korea. In this stairwell is where they record the strongest evidence of paranormal activity. Something is at the bottom of these steps, according to their readouts. Snapchat finds activity in the corner. It looks like a ghost in a white dress with her back turned. Long black hair. They don't dare go down there and confront her. Instead, they sum up a music box that is hand cranked at the top of the steps and see if she will come to them. I'm not sure if a ghost is really doing this or if they were in control. If someone has more information about the paranormal equipment they're using here, then let me know if this part is real or if they have a secret way to control it. So much energy surrounds them that the music box never stops playing. They have to manually turn it off, satisfied that this experiment was a success. Next, he records his Snapchat filter to see if any faces are caught coming up the stairs. Instead, he gets something even scarier. Something walks right by them, opens the door, and holds it open for them. They respect the spirit's wishes and politely leave. There's no trickery to this one, nothing paranormal, but we guarantee it will make some of you very scared. Posted to TikTok by Madison Borgia, the spider reunion on the ceiling is sure to send everyone out the door, leaving their shadow behind them. Madison captured this enormous mama spider and all her little spider babies just chilling outside, down right above her. Most commenters say they're moving to Mars, while Luray fan page writes that his anxiety went through the roof watching this. We're with you, Larry. If you haven't panicked yet, now's the time. Just kidding. This cat is playfully smacking around a Brillo pad when it stops to look straight up, ears back completely frozen, almost as if someone invisible is standing over it. Next, an orb floats upwards and makes it jump straight into the air. After a while, the house pet regains interest in its toy, only to stop and look around again, slightly bewildered. It looks at its owner briefly and then follows the orb with its head in a swooping motion. Possibly the very same orb as before. There's no doubt that the cat sees something out of the ordinary as it tracks the orb perfectly. Both times it completely loses interest in the toy and seems somewhat alarmed over an unseen presence. I guess there could be some other explanation, but if I was alone and saw all of this going on, I would definitely question if my house was haunted. Humans aren't the only beings with the apparent ability to teleport. Published by The Buzz in January of 2015, this mysterious video appears to show a canine teleportation. The video, filmed during a street race on an empty motorway in Chile, shows a dog suddenly materializing out of nowhere. In the clip, two cars speed down the track. As the camera swings after them, following the race, a dog suddenly appears in their wake, crossing the road. In slow motion, the dog appears out of thin air in the middle of the road, somehow avoiding the two cars, neither of which budge at all in their straight shot down the track. Did this dog teleport here, as many in the comments seem to believe? Whether or not he did, I think Pog Squatch sums up our sentiment. Scotty needs to be more careful when he beams you down. That was too close for comfort. Mysterious lights keep showing up outside this man's residence. In Sao Paulo, Brazil, Eduardo Ferreira captured the intriguing recurring lights of potential unidentified flying objects, which he published in both August and November of 2021. The August footage shows a bright white light drifting in the night sky. A close-up shows that it appears to be multicolored and twinkling. The light then flies quickly across the skies, vibrant against the dark clouds above. It drifts overhead until the view is blocked by an adjacent building. The second video, filmed in November, shows a series of bright blue twinkling lights, the same size as the first. They float in front of another adjacent building, just drifting there, but not moving in any pattern or course, as the previous light did. So after seeing both clips, what do you think? To what do these lights belong? Is there a logical explanation? Or are these lights cause for extraterrestrial concern, given the fact that Edward has caught it twice on camera already? I doubt it will be the last time he sees this. A group of friends are exploring an abandoned house, but they get no further than the front door before they get freaked out by a possible ghost sighting. According to the description, if you look closely at the right side of the window, you'll see a shadow figure looking at them. Take a look at what they've caught on tape and tell me if you see a shadow figure on the right.
No, that's a shadow, that's shadow.
Exactly. Pega ya al teléfono.
At first, I thought they were maybe talking about this shadowy figure down here, which is on the right like they say, but I'm pretty sure that's the shadow of the person holding the camera, and what could be a glowing eye is actually light from their camera too. Also, the person in a red shirt who sees the shadow figure is pointing in an entirely different direction. Like I said, I don't see anything paranormal in this video, but every single person in the comments says there is a shadow figure caught on camera if you look close enough. Just because I don't see it doesn't mean one isn't there. Somebody help me out because I want to know what they are looking at. When you do see it, apparently it's really scary. A remote shanty house in the middle of nowhere. It's gotta be abandoned, right? Posted to r/ghosts by Livid Excuse 1640. This video reminds every paranormal explorer to be always on their guard. The Redditor is driving down a dirt road at night in what appears to be the boonies with no lights around apart from a faint, distant glow, and yet in the middle of nowhere they come upon a rundown white house. It's dark and clearly abandoned, or so you think, as the Redditor drives slowly past, shining a flashlight onto the house. He spotlights its empty and broken windows, nothing else, that is, until he zooms in on a center window. Here appears a white hooded figure without discernible features. The realization of what they're seeing scares them enough to drop their camera and drive away. While many Redditors in the comments believe the figure is a squatter rather than a ghost, this sighting at an assumedly abandoned house would be unsettling regardless. The Redditor writes in the comments, "I've been in the house once and it's like the people living there just up and left clothes in closets, dishes in the sink, toys on the floor. It was wild. I got halfway down the hallway and something that felt like pure evil came over me and I ran back out." He also shares some still photos with varying exposures that he took from the clip. What do you see in the Rorschach ink blot? This is only a test. When the paranormal team Cazadores de Sombras went to investigate this ritual site, what they found was a living nightmare. As they approached the site, they find what appears to be a body levitating high above a fire pit.
Que isso aí, galera?
They later hear something in the surrounding woods.
Não, nem a vida. Na hora que faz sai, sai, mano. Os caras vindo. Vai. Os caras gritando, velho. Os caras gritando lá.
Now, back in the safety of their vehicle, they're left to ponder what their eyes saw. Without context, it's difficult to know what's going on here. Is this person being levitated by some dark magic? And for what purpose? I can't provide any insight on this one, but I do know that I'm super creeped out by the events here. Hardly anyone wants to see a clown at the best of times. Guaranteed, no one wants to see an uninvited clown on their doorstep. Published to YouTube in August of 2019, this creepy clown is everyone's unwelcome guest, residents of San Antonio, Texas. Likely double-checked their locks after video of this creepy visitor was captured on Ring surveillance footage. The clown was said to be loitering outside people's homes in the middle of the day saying trick or treat. Again, it was August at the time. The Ring footage captures the man wearing a clown mask approaching a home around 1 p.m. The anonymous homeowner wasn't present at the time of the clown's visit. The security video was shared to neighborhood groups, sending a collective chill down everyone's spine. Resident Ernest Marquez sums up the fear saying, "What his intentions were, I don't know. The uncertainty, the unknown is everyone's greatest fear." Hopefully this case was broken before it was too late. A YouTuber named Victor Poulin suspects that something is wrong with this plane, and I need your help to come to a reasonable conclusion. The plane looks completely normal until approximately 1 minute and 50 seconds into the video, when a bright red tint forms along the edges seen here. The change in color could be from the way the sun hits the aircraft, but that still doesn't explain how the plane seems to break up into multiple parts. Then again, maybe it's just his unsteady camera.
Now see how it almost looks like it changed shape? There's lights all in different places.
Victor Poulin is convinced that the plane is some kind of holograph, but I think it's pretty unlikely because I've never heard of anything like that before. Still, what do you think the real explanation is? Or do you think his assumption is correct? Salmon is supposed to be good for you, but this piece has something extra inside of it that definitely isn't.
Maybe they'll give me a discount on that one.
As he captures the creature on video, 25 seconds is when the worm finds a soft spot and plunges back inside. This video is especially terrifying when you realize this is not abnormal, nor is it the store's fault. Most salmon is infected with these worms, and improper cooking could introduce a live one into your system. So remember, worms wiggling in your food is a common occurrence that is occasionally caught on tape, and don't forget that you're still eating crunchy ones even when properly cooked. I think they should put a label about it on the packaging because most people probably don't know about this slimy little problem and could have eaten them already, including me and you. YouTuber Memoria Sobrenatural INC believes they were guided to this location by something paranormal, and maybe that's true, but it doesn't seem to want to let him in.
Opa! Cara, que é isso, mano? Cara, que é isso?
At first it seems like something might just be pushed up against the door blocking it, but then you see movement. Watch the crack in the doorway.
Olha isso, cara. Dá uma olhada.
Whatever's inside doesn't seem human.
Cara, você é louco? Eu juro que eu achei que eu tinha visto o demônio aqui agora, na hora que eu fui abrir a porta. Cara, meu coração foi a mil aqui, ó. Bom, pessoal, eu acho que...
Phew, it's just a bull. Or is it? I think this horned beast is more demon than it appears. A YouTuber named LaxRebel225 is playing a video game at home when he hears something loudly bust through the front door. He's frantically looking from room to room when finally he hears it making a racket again, this time from the kitchen. When he crosses into the kitchen, nothing is to be found. Instead, he hears it again from behind. I'm not sure why he stomps his foot here. If he's trying to scare the creature away, it doesn't work. LaxRebel does a full circle around his home and ends up standing just outside of the kitchen again. He seems to get a bad feeling and hesitates. That's when this inhuman noise fills his house. The creature seems to say something in a chittering language that almost sounds like an evil laugh. Then it leaves his home, shutting the door behind itself. Maybe I'm just overthinking, but the alien's voice sounds very high quality, like way too good for the average YouTuber to edit into their video with home equipment. As much as I don't want to admit it, I think this video could be real based on the creepy laughter alone. Still, I'd definitely like to know what you think after watching this video. I'm especially looking for the opinions of people who have experience with audio engineering. Just when you think you've got your fear handled, it starts to eat you alive. This is an Instagram post gone wrong. This woman has a voice like a nightingale and is recording herself to showcase her talent. But your focus is shifted by the strange supernatural mirror that magically appears in the background, with the camera facing selfie style toward the girl. At the beginning of the clip, you can see the space on the wall behind her is empty. She shifts, and suddenly there's a small mirror posted there. As she continues to sing, oblivious in the mirror, strange reflections emerge and disappear sporadically, being as it looks like she's in the classroom alone. These figures appearing out of nowhere are more than frightening. And when she finally realizes something's off, she springs from her seat screaming. She flees the classroom. Where did this mirror come from? Who or what was being reflected in it? And more importantly, what did they want? Have you ever feared you're living a walking nightmare? Titled Daymares, this video was posted by YouTuber Ghosts of Carmel, Maine in October of 2017. The video begins with a short explanation that reads, "When faced with the unknown, alone and frightened, call it Daymares." The 20-minute video opens with a pic of a shadow person appearing in a photo taken in 1906, which also shows the YouTuber's house. The YouTuber says this paranormal figure has been showing up a lot within the past months. The YouTuber then shows evidence of these instances with video footage of the shadow man standing in several places in his home, including silhouetted by the light of the window. He writes that he has a theory who this shadow person is. The man was short. In fact, people used to make fun of his height when he was alive, making him an angry ghost of eternal bitterness who haunts the living through fear. A few clips show the ghost grinning at him in the darkness. One night, there was a lot of paranormal activity going on in the YouTuber's house, including walking and banging. As he takes video footage of his dark home, he asks who was making so much noise.
They were walking around the bedroom all night long, making noise. I even heard rattling sounds. Banging. Who was doing it?
On occasion, he captures what he describes as yelling in the background.
Well, was somebody down here yelling?
At one point, when he says hello, he is answered.
Somebody down there yelling? Hi, that's...
He hears strange talking and heads downstairs to see if the TV was left on. After discovering it's off, he places the camera on the ground and leaves it there in an attempt to capture the yelling. He leaves the house altogether, but a neighbor starts mowing the lawn, drowning out some of the noise. However, some moving sounds were caught on the video. At some point, the camera is knocked over, which the YouTuber suggests could only have been done by something paranormal.
White.
After this, the YouTuber returns upstairs to capture some more footage. When he turns towards the door, there is some movement. He says it appears as if clothing is being pulled out the door. But after turning the light on, he finds nothing on the landing or downstairs. He returns to the bedroom and says the shadow person is in the window again. There is indeed a shadow there, though it's oddly shapeless. Then, something rather solid seems to fall inside the room. He thinks it went under the bed, but all he finds beside the bed is a small teddy bear. Does this video make you a believer in this haunted house? If it does, get ready for some certain daymares. The jinn is back. That's right, the shape-shifting creature of Arabic mythology that is said to have the capacity to possess humans is yet again making an appearance in this clip. Hassan Barbar believes he's caught one on camera. Posted in January of 2020 on YouTube, he writes in Arabic, "I've never seen a jinn before." Outside of a stone building, the man captures something on film peering out at him from behind a palm tree. It pokes its head out briefly before drawing back into hiding. As he approaches the palm tree, you can hear movement coming from within it. He continues to wander around the premises until he starts to hear something swinging. Turning the camera towards the sound, he finds an old swing set. One swing flings back and forth, though no one is there to push it, nor does the night appear at all windy, as the trees remain unmoving. A short while later, when he is in front of the entryway to the building, a window pane slides closed. Again, it appears as though no one is there to close it. Do you believe in jinn? This video has me creeped out to the max. The passed on must be transported to their final resting place, and whether you realize it or not, sometimes you're traveling with them. Shared on Twitter by Mr. Creepypasta, this scary video showing an apparent lifeless body in the cargo hold on a plane was originally posted on Reddit. The question is, why is this body not contained within a casket? Many in the comments are freaked out by this footage. Some refer to the 2008 Thai horror film Phobia, a film about the transportation of a princess's lifeless body by plane. This short clip, however, was not taken from the movie, and it's not clear if it's genuine or staged. I think it's real. What do you think? Have you ever received a call from the beyond? TikToker Epic Paranormal posted this video explaining that their mom received a phone call from her uncle. The only problem is, he's passed away. I don't know about you, but that entire clip gave me chills. Many in the comments have similar stories, having received calls from their departed loved ones. Others have a feeling of dread after watching this clip. I can't blame them. If I got a voicemail like this, I would be terrified. A ghost was seen in Benares, India, walking across rooftops. The sighting scared many locals and led to a police investigation. Twitter user Benaresians tweeted this video of the incident. Did you see the figure? Take a closer look. So far, the police haven't discovered what the figure was or who was behind it. Maybe that's because it's absolutely real. What do you think? I'm on the fence with this one. Nothing is more terrifying than surveillance footage of an event, especially one that ends human life. This video footage shows 3 suspects involved in a double life-taking in South Ogden, Utah. Surveillance footage surrounding the scene of the event captured 2 suspects peering through the home's windows, and later a masked man fleeing the scene. All 3 suspects were wearing hard plastic masks. According to several news articles documenting the event, police believe the incident was not random, but targeted, and that the suspects were familiar with both the people in their home. South Ogden Police Chief Darren Park noted that while reports of a loud party had been made to police, he asked any witnesses to come forward and said in a statement that he hoped the families of the people will gain some closure. Multiple surveillance cameras caught the suspects scoping out the home. One suspect was wearing a mask, while the 2 others wore opaque plastic masks as they approached. One camera showed a suspect crouched down, watching the home for a while, after which the second suspect and later the third joined in. A second camera caught them peering into the home's windows. Following the event, one of the men was seen on a third camera hopping over a fence. As of the latest update found online, dated March 2019 by ABC4, the double life-taking remains unsolved. More has been pieced together of the night's events, including the fact that 3 of the Van Komen brothers lived in the home, while the unfortunate older neighbor, Kevin Nelson, had just dropped by when the event occurred. Once 2 of the Van Komen brothers left to pick up some food, leaving just one and one other roommate inside, the strangers seized the opportunity to enter. The brothers were gone for no more than 10 minutes, and when they returned, they found Kyle passed away on the floor. Van Komen's mother, Renee Finch, said of the footage, "I think that it's creepy that they're out there watching." Adding later, "We're very thankful we didn't lose all 3 of our boys that night." Nelson's nephew, Ralph Nelson Jr., also said of his uncle that he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, a feeling echoed by Finch, who doesn't know why her son might be targeted. There was no clear motive for the double life-taking, which is likely why the trail remains cold today, despite over 70 people being questioned over the past 3 years. Unsolved mysteries are inherently terrifying, and the coldness of this case compounds that fear. A person named Khorn1234 is not sure what to make of this video, and would like our help to investigate what could be paranormal lights in the woods at night. It starts off as one tiny red light at 2 minutes and 28 seconds, and soon the entire surrounding forest is lit up by them. Strange flashing lights suspended in midair. He looks the other way and across a field sees more of them. It's not houses and it's not towers, he says, and I agree. They seem to spontaneously appear and disappear without reason. It kind of looks like Christmas lights, except this was taken in the middle of July. So what are they? ILMN Bono Paranormal goes exploring an abandoned factory that has become a haunted place, full of many ghost sightings ever since an accident cost several workers their lives 60 years ago. Soon they discover firsthand exactly how paranormal this place truly is.
Tady taková nic. Ne.
12 days later, he returns for more.
Můžeš mi dát nějaké znamení, kde to jsou? The big hole is there and no way. No way.
He says he's done, but he doesn't mean it. Everyone keeps begging for him to go back, and so 6 days later he returns for his final paranormal exploration at the haunted abandoned factory.
Oh no. You heard it. There is something.
When you go back and look again, it does look like a shadow figure is caught on tape.
Oh my god! Did you see that? Of course it's not here anymore. I don't know if you saw that, but it was standing right here.
Standing just around the corner is a patch of darkness that is brighter than the rest. Was it a ghost sighting or somebody standing around the corner? Based on the other paranormal activity he's caught on camera, I think we all know the answer to this real ghost sighting. Dennis and Tim of Nerve Paranormal return to the Atkinson Manor to see if there's anything they've missed their first time around. There certainly is something they've missed before, and it definitely does not miss them. They are first greeted by a stuffed animal that I don't think was there before. It looks much less dusty than the steps around it, and therefore was probably put there recently. Nerve Paranormal could have put that there themselves though, so even though it's creepy, it's also easily disproven. Less easy to disprove, however, is when they hear this commotion while holding a spirit box session. It sounds like something runs up the steps moments before the door opens, yet no one is there. When they return downstairs, they find this blue kid's chair, shown briefly at 3 minutes and 50 seconds, is now part of a neatly arranged circle at 17 minutes and 30 seconds. Just as they are wondering how the chairs got this way, they get their answer. This still frame, taken in a flash of his camera at 17 minutes and 44 seconds, shows the chairs 1 second before they pull away. You can see no strings running on the floor whatsoever. I don't see how this is possible unless they put magnets on the bottom of these chairs and slid them across the ground from one floor below, which requires 4 different people and a lot of effort. Instead of running away to somewhere safe, they stand their ground, which seems to make the ghost of the manor grow even more displeased. Then again, this object just so happens to be within kicking distance of the cameraman, so maybe he did it himself and then acted surprised. When Tim and Dennis decide to leave a minute later, they hear 4 footsteps and the doors open. This could be a spirit or it could be their friends. I think it could be real considering they eventually chose to escape off the roof and risk falling to get out of there. If you're planning on going ziplining soon, don't watch this video. Captured in Wales in the UK, this video was published to YouTube by Stephen Bromley in September of 2018. The clip reveals many adventurers preparing for their exhilarating ziplining trip, and the zipline does indeed look fun for a while. That is, until Bromley's GoPro captures him starting to slide backwards. Eventually, he gets stuck hundreds of feet above the ground. Bromley explains what happened in the comments, writing, "I was at the time 14 stone, and when I went over the cliff edge, a sudden gust of wind came up and slowed me quite a bit. My brother said it was the size of my head that caught the wind. LOL. Bromley also advises all concerned not to let this video put you off ziplining. He said it was a blast and the staff were very professional returning him to safety. A man is filming this old medieval building on the Mediterranean island of Sardinia when he notices the curtains of a balcony window are peeled back slightly to reveal a small grayish object peeking out from the bottom. Zoom in, and it almost looks like a tiny face, or else the top of someone's head who is very short, perhaps a small child. It could be a reflection of the palm tree swaying in the wind, or it could be a trapped spirit staring haplessly at the world to which it no longer belongs. A man is driving down a haunted road in Hawaii when he sees a pale beige orb on the left side of his camera.
No idea what that is on my screen. It looks like a ball of light on the left.
I thought it was just his finger until I realized it was semi-transparent and slightly changing shape.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I have no clue. There's nothing there.
Watch this part and you'll see there's no way that this is his thumb. His passenger points at something on the side of the right, and their hand actually appears in front of the orb. The weird circle continues to hover in the corner for a full 3 minutes. It does not fade or go away even when they pull over, turn off the lights, and step out of the car into darkness.
It's still there. It's moving. It's still on the left. And I don't know what that...
If you have any idea how an orb could stay so plainly visible even without a light source, then let me know because I am honestly stumped. 3 bankers have a conversation during a slow day when the silhouette of a child darts across the empty lobby. Watch this part and try to translate what is said immediately after.
Oye, en la cámara acaba de pasar ahorita una niña corriendo.
The lobby area gets plenty of sunlight, and yet the figure looks completely covered by shade. Not a single detail is visible as it runs by, which makes this CGI or a shadow person. And when they go over to where it just was, nothing is there at all. You never hear the door open or any footsteps. It's simply gone. A ghost hunting YouTube channel called Spartan Hunters 2 explores the narrow stone corridors of the old Paulding County Jail in Ohio for any signs of the afterlife. As soon as they turn the corner, they hear something that sends shivers down my spine.
Did you hear that?
What was that?
Wow.
An anguished scream cries out from deep within the jail complex, which I'm sure most of you heard, but did you hear the creepy laughter that follows the scream? Listen really closely and you can make out the faint echoes of laughter bouncing off the walls. It happens right after he says, "Did you hear that?"
Did you hear that?
Here's a question for this video. Human or mutant? Published by Mr. Illusion. I truly hope that this is an illusion. The scary video shows a creature with a very human-like face curled up on the floor. Its body, however, is not human. It's small and extremely hairy with hooved limbs and sharp talons. I wouldn't want to run into this horror in the wild, and I'm pretty sure 83% of people wouldn't either. Only 17% can handle it. Geschmack has a YouTube page full of regular vacation videos and then one creepy paranormal video. This one, an abandoned house he found while exploring a suburb of Los Angeles. There are supposed to be 2 ghost sightings caught on video, but are they real? Let's take a look. A lot of comments say this is an apparition wearing a white dress in the window here. It's hard to see, so you must pay attention. The ghost is wearing some kind of belt sash, like a bridal dress, and she is looking down with her hair over her eyes, or maybe a bride's veil. Can you see it? In reality, I'm pretty sure it's just glare from the sun. This second ghost sighting is much more bizarre and likely to be real. Check out this window at 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Something lifts the curtains and a face is caught in the window for a brief moment. When I point at its all black eye, the rest kind of falls in place. You can see the nose and tight-lipped expression underneath. Definitely not human. And if it's a reflection of something outside, then I don't know what it could be. A ghost boy, known as a Pukong in Indonesian, was captured on film in this cemetery. Posted by Antarija, a cameraman is wandering a cemetery at night when he turns to spot this figure. The figure is standing wrapped like a mummy. The distorted face is barely discernible, and the cameraman quickly turns and flees into the darkness. He keeps turning back and somehow the figure is closer and closer. Its horrifying face is what nightmares are made of. It's not clear if the thing is chasing him, but it does seem to be on his tail. Did he make it out alive? Or are one of these graves for him? Let's hope not. When the passed on are literally beneath your feet, you're bound to step in something. Published to YouTube by Exploring with Eric in May of 2020, Eric visits a graveyard at 3 in the morning in his new series, The Devil's Hour. My objective is to document all sorts of evidence that relates to the paranormal world, whether it be poltergeist activity, any shape or form of apparitions, etc., by using my basic ghost hunting equipment. In this series, you will see myself investigate alone. During the first episode, he gets more than he bargained for. While in the cemetery, Eric finds a mausoleum. After hearing a loud knock during a spirit box session, the glass door closes. He then says he heard someone's voice, and he hopes there's no one here messing with him. Just as he decides no one's there after wandering around the premises, he hears footsteps.
I'm gonna go ahead and show you exactly where I want to show you.
He runs up the stairs to the second floor to see who is there, but there's no one. He notices that the doors are open to the outside. As he shows his viewers a fountain in the middle of the mausoleum, he hears footsteps again. He returns to the inner mausoleum, where the doors are again closed. Finally, he decides to leave and it's standing outside, saying he'll return again at some point. But as he pans around, a large shadow figure moves behind a nearby tree.
It's too much for me right now to handle, and like...
What was that? Is that what's been watching him? It's probably time to say goodbye. If you saw this on the horizon, you may think some serious stuff is going down. Posted to the Very Spooky Video subreddit by RavenTexX, the Redditor writes, "Is this recent? Looks real." The footage shows a dark and stormy scene with heavy clouds on the horizon, and in their midst a blinding beam of light. The light brightens and recedes more, but stays in the sky for quite some time before zapping out, leaving the night in total and utter darkness. While life forms outside of this planet could very well exist, some Redditors have other explanations. Greg the Chief writes, "It could be a transformer. I worked as an electrician the past few years. I never saw something that size, but electric energy has more power than most people think. Since I'm not an electrician, I wouldn't know for sure, but that sounds like a pretty rational explanation." When you're driving home exhausted at the end of the long day, stay conscious and keep your eyes peeled. You might just see this. This supernatural clip was posted in April of 2020, claiming it's a real sighting on a haunted roadside. So let's take a look and see for ourselves. The clip shows someone driving down a dirt road in the near darkness. As they turn a corner, a dark figure barely visible can be seen crossing the path. On closer inspection, the figure looks long-limbed and big-eyed with a strangely shaped skull. It crosses slowly before sitting down at the side of the road. If human, what is this strange behavior? If not, any theories as to what this creature might be? Whether paranormal or some earthly figure, running into this near dusk might be enough to end your life. The next time you gaze up into the serene night sky, you might experience a feeling of panic instead of peace. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by After Performance 2. The Redditor explains that these strange lights were seen in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina last year on July 19th. The lights were grouped in threes, and according to the Redditor, some disappeared before she could capture them on video. The video shows a trio of lights floating overhead in the sky, and a moment later, another trio closer to the horizon off in the distance. The sets of lights don't float in strict formation, but seem to each be wavering at their own pace. They then flicker and disappear. Redditor Professional Truck 3 suggests that these were paper lanterns lit and then launched from the beach, but the 70s Kids negates that, saying if these were lanterns, they'd drift apart. While some say the wind is obviously taking the lanterns in the same direction, After Performance 2 theorizes that they're all going to the same destination. Another Redditor, Buster Blevins, chimes in proposing that this is not necessarily a unique occurrence. He wrote, "Last Friday, a bunch of people saw something very similar to this in northern Wisconsin. The lights would appear in groups of 3, and it was as if there was a pattern that looked like the light was traveling in a circle around something." Any other theories as to what these strange lights could be? A YouTuber named S. Zachariah is exploring a construction site when he comes across a peculiar hole in the ground that somehow feels off. He is curiously poking around with a stick when an anguished voice calls out to him from below, followed by a strong underground wind. This part definitely sounds like a person crying out for help. Soon their cries are replaced by another sound, this one much different than the first. I don't think human vocal cords could ever produce the noises that follow. A final moan is soon drowned out by the chorus of supernatural screeches. Is this person being tormented by evil spirits, or is he himself becoming one of them? This Redditor's friend captured something mysterious on her Ring camera. The footage shows a chair sitting outside on the porch. One moment it is empty, the next a figure seems to be sitting there.
Okay, so now I'm going to slow it down for you guys. You see that? I don't know what the that is in my chair. The stool moves back and forth just once.
Some in the comments say the entire frame is jumping, which suggests a time lapse in the video.
Okay, so now I'm going to slow it down for you guys. You see that? I don't know what that is in my chair. The stool moves back and forth just once.
Without the full video, they think a pet or a wild animal may have perched in the chair, appearing like a person, but it doesn't look like any species of animal I've ever seen. What do you think is going on here? This mother is relaxing on the patio when a loud boom startles her pretty badly. No, I said loud. The boom is so large it rocks the camera and briefly lights up the room despite it being in the middle of the day. I really hope Chris knew what he was doing, because that sounded like it was way too close to the house. This video comes from a YouTube channel in Poland called The Slamming Door, which was named after a loud poltergeist who frequents a small home in Europe. The owner of the home eventually sets up cameras in all of the main rooms to capture the highly aggressive spirit in action. Everything looks normal in this bedroom until about 50 seconds into the video, when the poltergeist demands to be acknowledged. It targets a video game collection and sends cases to the floor. This could have been done with a string, but watch again and it does look like an invisible entity swipes everything off the shelf in one smooth motion with their arm. Also, this is a fairly big gaming collection, so if this was fake, you'd think they would knock over something less expensive that they didn't collect or otherwise care about the condition of. This final video is what finally drove them out of the house once and for all. They enter only to find the house has been trashed, and it seems like a spirit is following them around as they explore room to room. They return to the same bedroom in the previous video, and something is in there with them that makes them jump. On the way out, the kitchen light swings wildly, and a chair briefly pulls out on its own. I wish they would have recorded the entire room so we could verify that no one was in there with them, but they were obviously in too much of a hurry to fully document the occurrence. A quarrel with a poltergeist has only one outcome: you lose. Published by Scary Desk in September of 2021, the computer shop owner is battling for his life. The man is seen on an upper balcony of his shop at night. It sounds like it's raining. He puts his hood on and heads back toward his shop, but the minute he steps toward the door, he is thrown onto his back, falling onto the ground. You see he appears to have been pushed by a shadowy force. A young man runs to his aid from an adjacent office. As the man points in fear, what did he see? The young man looks inside but finds nothing. He then helps the owner limp to safety. What did this to this poor man? And is it the end of it? Or is it just the beginning? Parsnips and Parsimony is a wholesome family vlog YouTube channel, and not where you'd normally think to go to get your daily dose of horror. But in one vlog, they encounter something on their window that's pitch black and looks full of pus. I think the bottom might be moving during these two scenes, but it could also be the shaky camera.
And I have no idea what it is. That is what it looks like.
Anyway, they decide the only way to diagnose this find is to slice it open, but no answer lays in its oozing black insides. Is this a plant, animal, alien, or what? If you remove mold or something for a living, let me know what's going on here. The foreign substance breaks into slimy black clumps with no shape and no smell, or at least none they remark on. To this day, they have no idea if this was mold or not, and describe it only as a slimy something. If this is what the mold growing on the outside looks like, imagine what's on the other side of the walls. This exclusive video was submitted by a Redditor named Babe of the Dead on the Chills Narrator subreddit. While lying in bed making a random video, she hears 4 knocks late at night. She looks up in time to see her life-sized stuffed bear apparently come to life. The bear is square against the wall with no room for anyone to sit behind and move its arm. Some people say it's a spirit, while one person suggested that a person could fit inside if they took out the stuffing, which is super creepy considering Babe of the Dead has no idea who it could have been. Who do you think it was? I have no idea aside from astoundingly scary. It's 5:36 in the morning, hours before anyone should be inside of the Safety Harbor Public Library in Florida. Everything looks to be in order until this book goes flying off the shelf for absolutely no reason. The opening librarian was surprised to find a book lying perfectly balanced on the floor the next day. So they checked the security camera only to find this strange occurrence. Even if this was set up and someone was standing on the other side of the shelf to push a book to the ground, there's no way they could have made the book balance perfectly on its side like that. It really is as if a poltergeist purposefully made the book land in that position, so as to attract as much fearful suspicion as possible. And apparently it worked. Sometimes anger comes in the form of a crazy woman guarding her property. For YouTuber Jack Z in May of 2018, this was the case. Jack explains that he and his friends were riding along a trail they'd never explored. It led to a stranger's property, but it wasn't clear that they were on private property, as there weren't signs or fences around it. And in the video, it really doesn't appear private. It looks like a forest, a free-for-all. According to Jack, as they were heading out, a woman came out of nowhere and started confronting them.
I'm sorry, get off!
I'm sick and tired of you, bull!
This is the first time I'm here!
Bull! You guys are here all the time,
No, it's
scaring
not
my horses!
Grabbing hold of Jack's backpack to throw him off balance, which led him to busting his brake on a downed tree that was in front of him. As he climbs out from under his bike, she can be heard screaming at his friends as well. She then gets in his face, saying that him and his friends are there every weekend on her private property, scaring her horses. Jack writes, "Moral of the story is to be careful of what trails you choose to follow. It seems to me that this chilling event was just one big misunderstanding, and I hope this woman doesn't choose to act this way in similar future situations." Deep inside these tunnels lies something no one was meant to see. Published to YouTube in November of 2016, Connor Does Adventure explains, "We did not fake or plan any of this. We just started recording for a blog and this is what we found." Entering deep into a watery tunnel, the boys start to hear something.
No, I can't.
They all freak each other out and start running towards an exit. At first you think they were just scared and adrenaline caught up with them, but it turns out someone or something was in fact chasing them. Once out in the sunlight, they stand at the entrance before heading into the tunnel a short ways again. A strange squealing sound can be heard, and as the camera focuses in, a figure is clearly seen, although it's unlike any creature you'd ever seen before. It's gray-skinned and alien-like, and it's marching towards them with a determined air. Any ideas what this is? Is it a madman? Or is it a watery tunnel creature? Most importantly, is this thing harmless? Or should they be running immediately? Don't wait around to find out. This video was taken at the Galway Swimming Club in Ireland. It may not seem like much at first, but lion's mane jellyfish like this one can grow larger than a whale and have more than 1,000 poisonous tentacles. Each one can be over 100 feet long. In other words, it's one of the last creatures you'd want to ever see lurking in a public swimming area. Hundreds of these slow-moving monsters have been showing up on the west coast of Ireland, and no one knows why. Marine experts are completely baffled as to what could have changed in the waters to accommodate them, especially in such large numbers. Meanwhile, lion's mane jellyfish are continuing to send swimmers to the hospital, and the infestation shows no signs of slowing down. A YouTuber named Rose of Decay records a scary Snapchat face swap video that leaves her wondering if she had a real ghost encounter.
Hi. Are you in bed?
What's really creepy is how this mirror image kind of has her eyes, but at the same time they're all black. The bizarre face goes away for a while, and then comes back as soon as she has a question.
Can you talk to me?
This time the apparition has its mouth open wide as if screaming. It's probably just a software glitch detecting a face in the mirror that isn't there. So I don't think it's necessarily real, but I don't see anything that remotely looks like a face. So hey, that's real enough to me. Seeing an alternative version of yourself scream while no one is there is definitely creepy nonetheless. DJ Ashba has a YouTube channel full of videos regarding his music career, but one in particular is way different. This CCTV video captures some unexplainable activity in his private backyard. It all starts when a small white blip appears out of nowhere and flashes all the way across the patio. I want to add that this camera does not skip frames, and that the light actually was moving this way in real time. Approximately 10 seconds later, the door opens completely by itself. The door was not slightly open before, and it looks like a calm day with no wind. Coincidentally, the door that opens is also the same door that the white light appeared in moments prior. DJ Ashba checked the security camera after coming home to see his door open, and this video leaves him with no easy answers. The best explanation I have after reviewing the evidence is that this was in fact paranormal, especially considering his other videos are not like this at all. What do you think? The garbage has eyes. Posted to the paranormal evidence subreddit. See, Holly Molly writes, first noticed the eyes about 2 years ago, the ones next to the hose reel. She says this is a black plastic bag with sand in it, with no tape or reflective stickers attached. The security footage shows the garbage bag and its eyes. At some points throughout the clip, it even looks as though the eyes are blinking. The Redditor says the eyes appeared nearly a week after the bag was placed there. Some Redditors in the comments say it's pareidolia, while others think it's a residual artifact from the camera. Are we seeing a face that is not there? Or is this a real-life Oscar the Grouch? Chris Hopkins goes exploring a haunted mental asylum close to 3 a.m. called Forest Haven. As the name implies, they have to cut through a forest on foot to get there, and that's when their troubles begin.
That was somebody.
We're walking down the trail. We just heard someone right over there.
Chris turns on his flashlight and soon sees a mysterious light in return. They play flashlight tag for a while until they discover a group of other people who, while friendly, claim to be ghost hunters on a quote-unquote another mission.
Yo, we just met up with these guys. Hey, yo, these were some of the guys we were in here.
Actual ghost hunters, but we on another mission right now.
They don't think much of the comment and join together to go exploring the abandoned mental hospital. As they get to talking, the strangers kneel down and show what their special mission really is: to take copper from wires and sell it for money. That's when it occurs to them that they are around some shady people in an abandoned building who have sharp instruments and are looking for valuable equipment, like their expensive cameras. Thinking fast, Chris walks back to get his friends.
Dude, come out here and listen to all these birds. Listen to all these birds.
Yeah.
They don't say a word and awkwardly walk away, which is the right choice. Who knows what would have happened to them if they stayed around? This video was taken around Halloween, when paranormal investigator and YouTuber The Fam visited the gravesite where famous rapper XXXTentacion was laid to rest. He records the glass door while paying their respects, and you can see the inside of the memorial is empty. But when they pass over the door a second time, something is very different. Look at the bottom left window or you'll miss it. What's especially crazy is how he seems to appear as soon as they leave a hat and harvest pumpkin as tribute. If this video is to be believed, then it's as if he is paying his respects to his fans from beyond the grave. These underground tunnels in Manchester, England, were once used to escape air raids in the 1940s. Countless people huddled for their lives down here in mass, and their collective theory is thought to have left a haunting impression ever since. Now a YouTube channel called Dark Arts TV investigates these tunnels to see what he can discover with his own eyes. It isn't long before his blue light shines upon a rail-thin figure standing at a bizarre angle. They are a good distance away, but it looks like they might be wearing baggy trousers and a vest with oversized sleeves, reminiscent of the 40s era. If this is not a ghost to you, then what do you think this is? As he turns the corner, his camera picks up what appears to be a pair of human legs hanging out a small hole in the wall. What's most terrifying is how Dark Arts TV doesn't seem to notice the legs at the time, as if they weren't visible in real life. And to further back this theory, when you pause at 24 minutes and 28 seconds, the beam of his flashlight seems to move through them. Finally, as they prepare to leave, they encounter this shadowy face directly behind them. It doesn't look like a person per se, but rather the fading memory of someone who was present, now doomed to repeat a terrifying moment forever.
Eyebrows, a hairline, the chin. You can even see at the bottom here, if you can just catch the end of my thumb, where I'm covering now. There, you can see the line of his neck as his head is bent round the corner.
A YouTuber named Musafir Vlogs is biking through India late at night when something causes his bike to stop working. They later claimed during this part to have felt a spirit close by, and upon starting their bike heard a voice. I'm not sure if I hear it or not, but since this video has a lot of likes and so many people who claim to hear it, maybe I'm just not listening correctly. I think I might hear a gulping noise at 7 minutes and 18 seconds. Almost like someone taking their final breaths underwater. Tell me what you hear. A YouTuber named Yvonne hears a noise coming from her kitchen and grabs her phone to record. After 15 seconds of silence, a cabinet door opens to let an item drop onto the counter.
Oh my god.
The obvious answer is that someone pulled a string to open it. However, the cabinet opens to the right and no one is on that side. I guess someone could have been directly underneath, but when Yvonne gets closer, you can see nobody is on the ground, so I'm not sure what to think. This Russian dashcam video starts with a car full of friends gawking at a figure dressed in all black, who looks very out of place standing all alone in the quiet city streets so late at night. Something feels off about this stranger, so they decide to double back and take a second look out of curiosity. This time they get a much better view at the shadowy apparition and they all yell in surprise. The cloaked figure has stepped into the street and now faces them, almost as if expecting their return. The camera's quality is admittedly not very good, but I can't make out a single discerning feature of this person's face, which makes me wonder if they even have one to begin with. It's almost as if they were a shadow person. Then again, these friends kind of sound like they were possibly making a big deal out of nothing. With that said, something about the figure's silent, menacing posture and the way it stands in place makes me think this could be a spirit after all. A YouTuber named RJFD gets a phone call from a friend, telling him to look at the sky. He goes outside and doesn't really see anything at first. It sounds like thousands of fireworks going off at once, but this is late at night in the middle of winter in small town Michigan, so that doesn't make sense. There were no fireworks planned at all. Then the entire sky changes color.
What is that?
If fireworks is truly not the answer, then the only other explanation I have is some sort of strange weather phenomenon. Let me know if you think you have a logical reason for what's going on here, because I'm really not sure and neither is anyone in the comments section of this video. This rocket ride is a famous local attraction at the Luna Park in St. Petersburg, Russia. Here's what the ride looks like normally, and this is what it looks like after a cable frays to the point of snapping clean through. This angle clearly shows how close the riders are to plummeting hundreds of feet below. Look at the top of the ride. That cable to the left is the only thing keeping them alive. The tip of the ride is bending from the pressure and looks ready to come off. Rescue workers are eventually able to get everyone down to safety, though I'm not sure they felt anything but safe while dangling over 200 feet in the air with no end in sight. William Davies has been documenting all of the paranormal activity around his bedroom for quite some time. January 25th, 2014 is when he proves to himself his bedroom is haunted, first with a creepy unexpected EVP caught on tape, followed by this hands-on ghost encounter.
Stopped. Whoa, something just grabbed me then. Ooh.
6 months later, the paranormal activity is ramped up considerably. He hears noises all around his room quite often. Even during the day, it sounds like someone invisible is walking around. Objects fall off the shelf in plain sight with William Davies clearly standing a few feet away. He might have done it himself with a string, but honestly, I don't see one. Do you?
Oh, this is not normal, man.
4 months later, he notices his pantry cupboard refuses to stay closed, but only for one night.
No thanks. No. No.
And if you listen close, at 2 minutes and 49 seconds, you hear a woman's voice cry out right before the door opens.
I saw that.
The more he refuses to believe, the harder the ghost pushes open the door. This not-so-smart intruder's attempted entering was thwarted by a much smarter doorbell. When this stranger attempted to break into this home in Sydney Hills District, where a woman and her child were alone inside, the man is captured on several security cameras, staking out the premises, ringing the doorbell and waiting, before peering into the windows and trying the door handle several times.
Hello?
Hello. Hi. Are you...
Wrong house, hello. Yeah, no, it's wrong house, sorry.
When the homeowner finally responds to the man's attempted break-in via the Ring doorbell, the homeowner's voice obviously scares the man, who quickly rushes off apologizing and claiming he had the wrong house. There's nothing better than outsmarting an intruder. Hopefully he didn't try again later. There's not a lot of information available about this video, besides that it was broadcast live somewhere in Albania. Two radio personalities are having a spirited discussion when suddenly they are interrupted by something that neither of them can explain.
Pjesa më e madhe janë pushim dhe po e shijojnë dhe një ditë mrekullueshme që është për jashtë.
Profesor!
Wow.
Ç'ishte?
A newspaper flies up on its own in the middle of their conversation, and you don't have to speak the language to see the genuine surprise written all over the man's face as it happens. Still, I would really appreciate it if anyone who speaks Albanian could tell me what was being said, or tell me more about their show if you recognize them. I've watched this video many times, and I see no strings attached to the newspaper or anything like that. Obviously, it can't be magnets either. So if it's not magnets or string, Then what could it possibly be besides a haunting? An Xbox Kinect is probably the last thing that you would ever expect to use to capture a ghost, but that's what Keith Weldon apparently did on his channel called Weldon Paranormal. This ghost hunter received a call to investigate paranormal activity at an antique store in Rockland, California, so he packed up his equipment and headed over. The owner of this shop believed that a spirit was attached to an antique piece of furniture. To find the ghost, they used a Kinect camera that's hooked up to a laptop using special ghost hunting software. The software uses the Kinect's motion sensing capabilities to detect and map out any invisible forms in the room. Nothing is happening at first, so after a while, they decide to play old music that's from the same time period as the haunted furniture. Sure enough, they capture a ghost apparently dancing behind them.
And it has that figure over there and it looks like it's dancing again. Like literally like got rhythm and like...
Oh yeah.
When they turn the music off, they try to interact with the ghost some more.
She's shying away. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's holding your hand.
If this footage is real, then it could be the first time a true human-to-ghost interaction has ever been recorded. I don't understand the technology behind this equipment, so I can't say if it's real or fake, but if you're a ghost hunting expert and can verify this footage, then please let me know. Posted to the oddly terrifying subreddit by I'm a Scared Child, this is how baby bed bugs react to human body heat. An old wooden chair is sitting in the middle of the room. This person gets down beside it and places their finger near a crack in the wood. Immediately, dozens of bed bugs stick their little heads out of the crack. Attracted to the heat coming from this human finger. The sight of this is honestly horrific. Many in the comments share their own horror stories about dealing with these vile insects. Some advise using diatomaceous earth on them, or even baking soda. But Redditor B Cross sums our collective horror up, writing, "It's hard to put into word how evil these things are." I absolutely agree with that sentiment. Working from home has its perks, but this might deter some. Posted to the very spooky video subreddit by External Tangents, this Redditor was home on a gloomy day when he heard some strange noises. At his door, the noise sounds like distant clicking. He opens his hallway door to investigate. Out in the hallway, you can hear whining and slamming. It sounds like it's coming from upstairs. Then as he looks up to find an outside door open, it clanks loudly. He's found the culprit. At the top of the stairs, the exit door to the roof is open. Heading out onto the roof, he finds no one there. Although the mystery is solved, some think it's odd that the exit alarm isn't blaring. They also find the sounds and visuals quite spooky. If you heard this while you were alone in your apartment, would you have the nerve to investigate? I'd be looking for a new place to live. This alleged ghost was caught on video, rummaging around a property of an arcade in Dallas. The phantom blob glides over the grass and quickly fits through an entranceway. It's pretty convincing to me. Here's a second video of it. This looks like a cheaper camera, but it picks up the same shape. The only possible explanation I have besides the paranormal is maybe an insect is crawling across the lens. These books appear to be flying off the shelf all by themselves at an Alamo gift shop after hours.
What he was eating.
It's hard to tell if they were truly pulled out by a ghost or if someone was just pushing them from the other side of the shelf and playing a prank. We'll never know for sure, but if this were to happen anywhere in Texas, then a historical site like the Alamo would be a very likely location. A man pulls over and records a video with his camera after hearing a loud screaming that sounded like an animal in distress, or possibly even a person. That's when another horrifying scream comes from the woods.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Jumping around is a yelling humanoid creature that grows quiet and disappears in the tall reeds when it sees it's caught on camera. The man runs to his car and later suspects it could be a rake sighting caught on tape. The noises it makes are disturbing and do kind of sound like other rake sighting videos, so maybe he's right. Here's a still photo of the unknown creature sighting taken at 23 seconds just before it ducks down. Its arms look abnormally long and it's very broad-shouldered too. What do you think? Is this a person or a monster? I'm afraid he could have spotted the rake after all. Ghost Hunter Emax has some of the creepiest videos in the small but growing Japanese ghost hunter community. Videos with scary moments like this one that will haunt you for a long time. He's exploring an abandoned hospital when he senses something paranormal is near, a ghost in the same hallway.
なんかいる感じしてるもんね。こんなね、したりしたんだけど。最低みたい。あ、これで今こっちに動いたんだよな。
It's just there 1 second at 10 minutes 16 seconds, and within 2 seconds it's being pushed back 3 feet into the closet. Did he really see a wheelchair move by itself while exploring a haunted hospital? Or did someone pull it from off camera? The video looks convincing, but I guess we'll never know. Solo ambush goes to a haunted shack that's been abandoned in the jungle. The place is haunted by 2 evil shamans, conjoined twins connected at the hip. Solo Ambush is ready to live up to his reputation and confront them both on live stream. He finds odd evidence in the pages of an old book that could be paranormal incantations of some kind. Tell me what he says here and anything you can about what's written in the book.
So ini adalah salah satu daripadanya. Okay, yang berbahasa ASEAN. Aku akan bawa balik buku ini ya.
I'm especially interested in what this page says. It has a picture of the world on it and a list. He stares at this page for the longest of all. For some reason he lights 5 candles in the attic and says something to the shaman.
Okay, sila keluar. Aku cabar segala jin, kadam, pesuruh, dukun.
Maybe it has to do with what he just read. Whatever he recites, it works. Notice how the shadows start moving when the noise begins, and how they stop moving when the noise ends. Final analysis: these scary moments caught on livestream video are paranormal and creepy beyond belief. It's like the ghost is walking right up and standing over him. It looks like Solo Ambush is the one getting ambushed this time. A haunted home in Italy that has been the subject of many failed exorcisms has some incredible paranormal activity caught on tape that almost has to be trick photography. Tell me how this was done before I wake up screaming tonight. It almost looks too well done to be computer editing. This video is supposedly one of the 7 classified videotapes that were taken from government archives and leaked. Of the 7 tapes, only a few snippets have ever made it to the public, including this interesting portion. A strange, gray alien appears to be manipulating some sort of task while in captivity. According to the description, this video could have been shot as early as 1942 and as late as 1969. The footage itself looks fairly convincing, though it could simply be CGI. However, the projector sound effect on the video seems fake, so my guess is this video isn't real after all. If this video is real, then exactly what the alien is intently focusing on, how it came to be captured, and how we are able to communicate with it, if at all, remains a mystery. These paranormal investigating YouTubers traveled to a movie theater in Sagan, Texas, to take their chances with the ghost of a girl who repeatedly scratches the staff at random. It isn't long before they hear not footsteps, but rather a single footstep, which is somehow even more unnatural and unnerving. Listen and watch. No one else is around.
I'm come here to communicate with whoever lives here.
They keep hearing and seeing things that aren't quite showing up on camera. Short flashes of movement out of the peripheral vision that go away when they try to look. But this part, taken in the back right of the theater at 7 minutes in a section where they keep hearing most of the noise, seems to show someone in the seats looking back at them.
Man, there is some serious creaking going on these steps right here.
The face has no detail, even though these are good quality cameras with night vision, and the head looks nearly see-through, almost like the after image of someone who can only exist through sheer willpower and nothing more. A family's CCTV camera captured this mysterious creature outside their home. It looks to me like a little goblin. Its creeping, hunched over movement is unnerving. It doesn't do anything remarkable, but skulks out of sight. Is it a rake? A house elf? I agree with Orlando. It definitely looks like this. YouTuber Ali H lives in a haunted house. After his dogs woke him in the middle of the night, he was confronted, but not by his dogs, by the demon itself. Watch the security camera footage here. Ali says there was a knocking noise which disturbed his dogs. That's why they woke him up for comfort. He got up to check things out, and when he did, something sinister happened. After having his neck squeezed and then thrown to the floor, Ali somehow went back to bed. Although this would definitely not be my reaction to being choked by an unseen force, I do believe Ali's story. Watch again at how he was lifted off the floor by the demon. Maybe Ali is just so used to dealing with the haunted happenings in his home, he's become indifferent to them. I think this is getting dangerous for him though. He should take everyone's advice in the comments and move from this haunted place before it's too late. YouTuber Gregor Wilk braves one of the most haunted places in Wisconsin in this spooky video. One of the most interesting finds he has there is this strange orb flickering in the darkness. Watch closely. In another shot, he captures a ghostly apparition. Watch to the left amongst the trees. Here's a closer look. Some in the comments say they've had a similar experience at Sanitarium Hill. Well, from this distance, I'd say you can't really tell if this is a ghost or not. This was filmed at around 2 a.m., so the idea that someone was out walking in the darkness of night is pretty creepy in and of itself. This scary doorbell video is from the Chills Narrator subreddit, and it was posted by Tay Harley Quinn. They say their camera has never acted weird before, but for some reason this mysterious shadow figure, transparent and paranormal, is traveling at a high rate of speed behind a truck at random. Some people say this is a person on a bike, while others say it's somebody running, but most agree that this video is paranormal from the looks of it. A small number of people say that this is a glitch, but fail to go into much explanation, even though I would like to hear more. Until then, I think this could be a real ghost sighting caught on home security camera. As the legend goes, the Saratoga light appears on haunted Bragg Road, a dirt road in southeast Texas. Many witnesses have observed the ghost light, with some believing it has paranormal origins due to a legendary railway incident in which a railroad worker lost his head. He is now believed to search for it in the night, carrying his lantern. Published by The Vortex in October of 2018, this scary video sees the man's search for the mysterious Saratoga light. During their 8-mile drive along the creepy ghost road, the paranormal investigators eventually start to see a beam of light. They stop along the dirt road and get out to capture the light, which they think might be a car, and it does turn out to be a vehicle as they discover when they drive ahead. But at the same time, they said they caught a mysterious light behind them which disappeared, a bright glowing red one. The eerie light doesn't seem to be far off. Many in the comments claim to have seen the light firsthand along this road. YouTuber 5th Gen Texan Texas Forever writes that he saw it years ago while walking along the road in the dark. He explains, "It appeared suddenly right in front of us, zipped away and came back really quickly, then disappeared again right in our faces. While this glowing red doesn't appear to zip away, the many confirmed sightings of the Saratoga light certainly make me consider believing." These police were patrolling a graveyard at night, expecting to apprehend the living. Instead, they met the living dead. Published by Kitten City in December of 2021, a pair of officers are seen walking along a path in the middle of the graveyard, tombstones on either side of them. They then hear this horrifying howl. The male officer leaves his partner in the dust as they both hurry off. Did they just wake up a demon? Or is something horrible happening deep beyond the grave? Either way, I can't say I've seen police run away this quickly before. The unliving appears in this live stream, posted to TikTok by Luckman NJ. A pair of guys are speaking to the camera, when behind them something mysterious photobombs their live stream. The robed figure over the young man's shoulder sports a dark face and a head covering. The boy moves in front of it for a moment, blocking the mysterious being from view. He then moves forward again and the figure has vanished. What is this thing? It almost looks like a statue of the Virgin Mary. But then again, where did it disappear to? I guess we're left with more questions than answers for this video. Would you rather see a ghost reflected or see one solidly in front of you? Posted on TikTok by RickyLie27. Ricky is wandering through what looks like a massage parlor when something unexpected appears over his shoulder. The TikToker is talking to the camera as he guides viewers through and doesn't even seem to notice this creepy figure that appears in the window behind him. A woman with long dark hair dressed in white lurks there. It's not clear if the woman is standing outside beyond the window or if this is a reflection of the woman standing inside. I kind of hope it's the former, because if not, she could be right over your shoulder. This one is Out of Sight, published by Grid Synergy in November of 2017. This scary security footage was filmed in a computer lab at night. A man is working across two computers when an alarm sounds, jarring him to turn around. Clearly confused about what this alarm is for, the man gets up to look. After the alarm doesn't repeat, the man sits back down at his desk, satisfied that it must be nothing, but then a loud bang is heard. And after a moment off screen, a lot more racket is heard, followed by the man clearly fleeing in fear. He couldn't get out of there fast enough. What drove him to flee? With the man now gone, a strange creak is heard, followed by another loud bang. If only we could see what was happening off screen. Be careful what you wish for. This video allows a 360 view of what's going on. Head back to when the bang is heard. A light turns on in a room next to a foosball table. When the man heads off screen, he is heading over to check out this room. He looks in but sees nothing, though he picks something up off the floor. Perhaps this is what caused the noise. When he heads out again, he switches off the light. That's when the racket happens. The door slams and a chair shoots back from a desk in front of him. The man flees the scene, the light turns on in the room again, and this figure's reflection is seen in the window. As I said, be careful what you wish for, because now you can't unsee it. There's a reason no one parks here. Published by Haunted Forest Monsters in May of 2019, this creepy clip caught a mysterious figure on a parking lot security camera. Captured around 9 p.m., the dark parking lot shines as though it's recently rained. After a moment, a semi-transparent figure is seen traveling from the left side of the lot to the right.
Yo, what the f...
It doesn't stop as it meets a median filled with trees and bushes, but appears again in the next parking lot over. Is this a meter-maid phantom? Or did this once living being lose track of his car for so long, he lost his life in the process of trying to find it?
I know, I see it.
Some poltergeists are gentle, others are vicious. Published by Find Ghosts in November of 2021, the uploader of this video writes, "Imagine coming home to this." Security footage captures a large and heavy-looking sofa flip forward onto its face unexpectedly. A moment later, a piece of glass is catapulted from a display in the corner. The glass launches across the room and hits a wall. Then something seems to be horseplaying with the camera itself. itself. It is rolled around onto the floor, while yet another object appears to be on its way to falling over on it. The scary video cuts out before the object does, but I wonder what else this family came home to. Recently, I've come across some YouTube channels showcasing these images of what appears to be the Statue of Liberty, moving her hands slightly to the right. It took me a long time, but I finally found the original video and can verify beyond all reasonable doubt that this giant moving statue video is edited. It is from a 2006 upload called The Statue of Liability, made by a computer animator named RODC 2006, who says in the description that it was made using a program called Blender 3D. So if you should ever happen to see these images somewhere online in the future, now you know it never happened and who originally made it. Props to RODC 2006 for being so good at editing that he continues to fool people so many years later. 3 friends know of a haunted abandoned place in Egypt that needs exploring. Little do they know how wrong their paranormal investigation will have gone by the end of that night. Fresh writing on the wall that gives them pause. It might be a warning of sorts or maybe a puzzle. They spend quite some time trying to figure it out and never manage to. What does it say? That's when they think they hear something upstairs, something that can mimic their movements. They go upstairs to confront it and hear a noise at the bottom of the steps where they just were. As they turn around, there's a wall full of handprints marking where people were trying to get away from something. At the bottom are 2 floating white eyes. They are checking out more red handprints when their paranormal investigation somehow gets even creepier. A jinn's figure fills the doorway on the top floor. They run down the steps fast, and seconds later, the slow-moving figure somehow passes by them again. Well, they are looking up where it was last spotted. With a flip of his scarf, the bravest of all sets forth to the exit and is almost touched. Here is a still image of the jinn's face taken at 9 minutes and 46 seconds. I think it might be a mask, but what if it's really a weird misshapen face? They say this is real. Should we believe them? Late night CCTV footage has caught a possibly real ghost sighting at this YouTuber's place of work. Out of the shadows emerges a mysterious pale apparition that seems to briefly look into the room as it walks back into the shadows. It wears a white dress with an extra small waist that was popular during the 1800s. The uploader later found out this place used to be an old Victorian orphanage, so the look of the ghost does coincide with the history of the haunted building. Whether or not you believe him will determine how eerie this footage is. I believe him though. A YouTuber named BatBatBox and his friend are all geared up and ready to do some serious exploring down a drainage tunnel that runs deep beneath the streets in Norway. Recent rains raise the water up to their knees, and a storm surge could leave them over their heads in a moment's notice. Many small side passages tempt them, but the rising water makes it too risky. They soon reach an impasse in the form of a fallen tree that quickly brings their exploration to a close. But just as the 2 friends are having a quick conversation about what to do next, a third party joins in. Something calls from the other side of the clogged pipe. A weird noise in their words, but definitely a scared human voice in my opinion. It doesn't make any other noise or ask for help, and when they try to find the source, it's gone. The tunnel is empty except for them, or so they think. All they find is this weird, large glove with sharpened fingers left behind, an iron claw in their words, like something a madman would wear. And when the passage they were looking down earlier begins to churn out a murky gray substance, they get out of there quick before anything else gets a chance to appear. That's a lot of unexplained events that have happened in one tunnel. Mysteries I don't think they were ready to solve. Maybe they heard someone's last moments before being taken away down that small passage, and whatever was down there was probably coming for them next. Something keeps coming into this creepy front yard out in the countryside, something from the edge of the woods. He's seen it once before, and soon he sees it again. It looks like an extra tall, extra dimensional creature with a single horse-like leg bent inward at the knee. The upper half looks like that of a man. It looks like it could maybe be a trick of the light from the single streetlight in his yard. However, his camera is relatively still when it happens. The creature moves left to right, but his camera isn't moving enough to blame it on the lighting in my opinion. Why won't the ghost of this house cross over? YouTuber Eugene from Dark Mystic is here to find out. One of his Steadicams first observes the presence of something here. Soon Eugene hears it himself. Another Steadicam captures mysterious noises in another room, and it appears that something is moving. Later, that something falls to the floor. In that same room, a shadow shifts across the back hallway. Eugene is then given orders by the resident ghost.
Молчи. Не ори.
Eugene doesn't seem to be taking the spirit seriously, but I wouldn't be able to keep quiet either. I'd definitely scream. What is this mysterious object in the sky? YouTuber Tiffany Campbell shares this footage of an object she says was falling to Earth.
Is that a plane going down?
I don't think it's a plane.
Well, that's cool. What is that, James?
I can't even tell you, but I don't know.
Can Joey see it? Joey, look through my phone.
It's hard to tell what this object is. It doesn't appear to be falling very quickly, but that may just be an optical illusion. The streak trailing behind it suggests it's traveling at significant speed, but this could be a contrail from a plane.
Is that a plane going down?
I don't think it's a plane.
Well, that's cool. What is that, James?
I can't even tell you, but I don't know.
Is this object even falling at all? It could just appear that way due to the perspective at which it was captured. I think it could just be a plane with a contrail, but it could also be a meteorite or some other unidentified flying object falling from the sky. What do you think? Did this person uncover a ghost portal in their garbage bin? Shared by a now deleted Reddit account, this security footage captured something glowing from under the lid. The bin looks somewhat distorted, while rays glow from the side of the lid. Some in the comments think it can be explained. I think Foji Fessy is probably right, but I prefer to imagine a ghost portal, a raccoon rave, or some other mutant haven lying within this trash can. YouTubers Lainey and Ben regularly document the paranormal activity in their Uber haunted home. As they're taking questions from their subscribers, some of the activity happens right behind them.
Says, does it feel like a good or a bad spirit, and what energy does it give off? I think there's no threats.
Nah, like, it's never touched us or hurt us, like, so I don't think there's anything bad about it. I think, if anything, it might be like a relative, because, like, it's not harmful to us, so it's not like...
First, they notice the paper towel roll.
Like, it's never touched us or hurt us, like, so I don't...
Lainey seems to hear it move. She looks over her shoulder but doesn't quite catch it in action.
So I don't think there's anything bad about it. I think, if anything, it might be like a relative.
Then the cupboard door pops open for a second.
To us, so it's not, like, bad in that...
Watching the camera, Lainey sees the activity behind her this time. I believe Lainey and Ben's home is haunted without question. They have a lot of evidence to back them. I just don't know how they can live with this. Ohm Vlogs has set up a camera at this junction in the middle of the night. What he sees there calls up plenty of questions, and they're without answers. First, he sees this figure walking across the grounds.
मैंने मुड़ा ये पेड़ के पास हाँ ये पेड़ के पास ये देखो ये कोई लगा मुझे पता नहीं उस पेड़ के पास करके एंड
He then sees this figure in red. It's not clear if it's the same person in the security footage. It looks like he lights a candle, maybe for prayer or some other ritual. But it's when this next figure enters the picture that things get really creepy.
हाँ ये देखो ये कोई आया है ये औरत है ये कोई और हाथ में आग है आग ऊपर भाई आग जला रखी है हाथ पे
After a while, she sits on the ground with her flame.
ये चौक पे घूम रही है हाथ नहीं जल रहा इसको बिल्कुल भी और इसने आग को नीचे रखा हाथ को नीचे रखा इसने आग को नीचे रखा इसने
When the witch leaves, he heads over to check out what she was burning, and then he finds her.
और ये पता नहीं कुछ करके अरे यार मौज आ रही है
Later, the camera captures her again crossing the same junction. And he finds this burning. The vlogger thinks this is a witch, performing some type of ritual. I agree that he's probably right. I can't find any other explanation for her movements at night. I'm not sure what she's doing exactly, whether it's good or evil, but I do find it fascinating. While exploring a haunted location in Orlando, Redditor Callie1939 captured this on SLS video. Watch closely. Later, as they walked past that same area, many in the comments think the Connect is simply picking up 2 gravestones, which is why it jumped to the next 2 gravestones, making it look like the figure was walking away from them. I tend to agree, but it is curious that the EM detector went off in the same location. What do you think? Is this a man or a monster? Posted to TikTok by Club de Dos Canito 1. I think it might be both.
Si puede respirar. No te levantes, por favor. Así quédate, no te levantes. Voy a llamar a alguien. A ver, traeré el carro para acá. Me voy a arriesgar y lo voy a meter
I'm personally not sure what to make of this clip, but most folks in the comments are making references to Spider-Man. I agree with them on one point. This does look a little like a man morphing into a spider.
Si puede respirar. No te levantes, por favor. Así quédate, no te levantes. Voy a llamar a alguien. A ver, traeré el carro para acá. Me voy a arriesgar y lo voy a meter a arriesgarme a quedar atascado.
Why do some people gotta do such creepy stuff? TikToker Unpopular Notes captured this creep creeping outside someone's house. In 2018, this woman kept hearing strange sounds outside of her bedroom window. It had been going on for 3 weeks, so naturally, she set up a security camera. This is what she found. She captured the stalker peering into her bedroom window. When he spotted the security camera, he quickly left but returned to take it. It's unclear if this guy was ever captured, but I think I'd be installing another camera, or 6. Not all of us want to be detectives in this scary case, but sometimes the job is forced on us. YouTube team Exploring with Angelo ends up on the trail of a possible life taker with this Randonautica gone wrong. It takes the crew to this creepy forest where they see a light amongst the trees.
There's definitely someone going, yeah. You catch one on that camera?
The light grows brighter and gets closer. The beam of light flickers in the darkness. And then they capture what's holding it. Using night vision, they get a close shot of the figure as it continues in its mission. After the figure leaves, they follow its footprints in the snow, and they encounter him yet again from a distance.
See anything? Yeah, they're right there.
As they get closer, they smell a strong stench.
Smell? I don't know. You smell that? Yeah.
One YouTuber points out another light beam from behind them later as they're reading this note.
Senior position in our new Arizona community. Which makes sense. Do you remember that letter that we found?
This is
We were in Arizona and it was talking about a new commune or something.
Okay, yes, now that
Does the beam belong to that strange figure? Later, as they're walking, they hear a scream in the night. I don't know what any of this means. I'm not sure if it means losing your life, but I would have to go and check the area again because it looks to me like the figure was burying something, but I'd definitely do that in the daylight. This figure appears out of nowhere and then disappears just the same way. Shared on TikTok, watch this mysterious vanishing act.
Tại vì nó nói cái bóng này. Thấy nhiều ông nó đang đạp xe đạp nè. Thấy không? Kìa. Kìa.
It does appear that the figure is only suddenly visible when the light flashes on them. And after it trapezes across the roadside for a moment, it vanishes into nothing.
Yeah.
While it could just be a poor quality camera, the way the figure pixelates and disperses is utterly eerie to me.
Yeah.
I'm no tech expert. Can anyone clear this up for me in the comments? Jade of YouTube channel Ghost Club Paranormal spends a night alone in the most haunted room of the Glen Tavern Inn. Cue all the spooky stuff. As Jade is describing the spirits here, the lights flicker off.
He's the one that's not supposed to be very nice. I don't know why the light just went out.
She captures some energies via the K2 meter. She starts to hear noises.
When I get spikes on the K2 meter. Okay, now I'm hearing noises just all around the room.
And one even seems to happen in response to her request. The spirit appears to turn the flashlight on.
Alright guys, same thing. I have turned this flashlight off, and if any spirits want to turn it on by the time I get back, you can be my guest. I'm gonna leave now. Oh, okay. Oh my again, it was like...
Then a cowboy responds to Jade's questions.
Are there any cowboys with me in this room right now? Can you make a knocking noise? If there's any
And when she continues her communication with the spirit, it says hello.
This is so weird. Like, I feel like somebody keeps pulling on my tassel.
I've seen enough here to be certain that Glen Tavern Inn is haunted, and I think Jade has a finger on the pulse of the spirits. YouTuber Ricky Velasquez captures this house being antisocial. Watch these china cabinet drawers. Here it is again, a little slower this time. The creepiest part of this footage is the shadow figure that moves towards the china cabinet. Keep your eyes peeled for it. Is that one of the creepiest things you've ever seen? I think this is one of the most authentic shadow figures I've witnessed. What do you think? Recorded from Haunted Room 405 in San Antonio's Emily Morgan Hotel. This phantom is reflected. Watch the bottom right corner of the mirror. A misty shape appears there for a moment before the camera turns right. Watch again. Did you see that? Well, this could simply be the change in light as the camera shifts. I want to believe. Do you? This ghost hunter should really be looking behind him. Published by Find Ghost in December of 2021, a man stands in the wilderness holding something and addressing what's in front of him. He is oblivious to what's behind him. A djinn appears, transparent at first, but then more solid looking. The djinn stays only for a moment before gradually vanishing again. The moral of the story? Sometimes what you're looking for is right over your shoulder. What would you do if you kept finding food disappearing from your fridge at night? That's what kept happening to old fogey John, and when he set up a security camera, he was shocked at what he found. Trending in the Brazilian YouTube community via the YouTube channel EXTV, this video's original source is old fogey John on both YouTube and TikTok. Let's take a look at the footage. This home invader does not look human, and even the cat to the right recognizes that. First, the creature pokes its head through the window and appears as though it might attempt to climb in. Then it slinks back out for unknown reasons. Did this creature know it was on camera? Its red, bulging veins, dark, otherworldly skin, and glowing eyes makes me think it's not of this world. But is it a demon? I can't answer definitively, as I assumed their only appetite was for human souls. This ghost at YouTuber Miss Pink Sweets 4201's workplace has her on edge. She captured video proof that some of her coworkers aren't exactly alive, and they may even be pure evil. Watch the left-hand corner of the top right-hand capture.
Dang, man. Oh my.
A ghostly figure appears, its face melting into view.
Oh my.
It disappears moments later. Is this a ghost? I think it could be some shift in the light, but it sure looks like a demon to me. The ancient Ram Inn in England's Watton-under-Edge is infamous for its devil worship and ritual sacrifice. YouTube team Ghost Raiders dives in to see if they can uncover any of this residual dark magic. Using paranormal devices, they try and get the spirits to communicate with them.
You make the K2 reader go off.
Well, got a cat ball going off.
The spirit seems to be playing around. In another stony room of the inn, there appears to be a demon face escaping the stone.
There is a face, or what looks like a face, but it is just obviously how the bricks and soot, I would imagine, have sooted up the wall. But yeah, it does look like a face.
It makes you wonder how such a face formed. Later, while using the Estes method, Holly feels unsettled.
Feel on the mask, like pressure around that physically being moved.
During a ritual ceremony to free her from her demon, she becomes overwhelmed with emotion.
Jesus H, guys. It's a lot of spiritual energy. All the small.
It seems to me that a spirit somehow entered Holly through the Estes method, only to be released through this ritual, and the feeling and release of the incident looks incredibly painful. These witches either have supernatural powers or have been practicing their parkour. Watch this video from the Paranormal Collective.
Eras una blanca con negro, compa. Mira. ¡Ay, güey! ¡Ay, güey! ¡Ahí viene! ¡Ay, güey! ¡No manches!
After the first witch jumps, she's followed by at least one other who's waiting in the wings.
¡Vamos! ¡Esta bruja vuela, compa! ¡Esta bruja vuela, ne! Ahí viene. Mira, la otra va a volar. Ahí viene, pedazo, güey. Mira, va a volar la otra. Amigos, esta bruja vuela, compa. Ahí viene el pedazo.
Well, I'd love to imagine these witches parkouring around the city. I think this is just your run-of-the-mill dark magic. Redditor Doodlepoot isn't quite sure if this is paranormal or not. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit, this ring footage captures something seriously sinister. Listen closely. Do you hear them too? Some in the comments think there's a demon at the door. Others think it's wind or distant traffic. This one's a toss-up for me. It sounds too much like breathing to discount it. Shared in the subreddit Paranormal Videos, this now deleted user picked up a disembodied voice on her dog cam, speaking a foreign language. Have a listen.
Funny kid.
Did you hear that?
Funny
The Redditor notes that the camera was placed on the mantle, and there's nothing behind the camera but the chimney. Some in the comments note that both of the dogs are looking at something in the room, and one of them looks terrified. The voice sounds almost like it's hissing in the end. I'm not sure what's going on here, if this is paranormal or there's someone in the home, but I do think I'd be setting up more cameras after hearing this. While exploring a 16th century cemetery in Cornwall, YouTuber Ghost Adventures of Cornwall captured 2 apparitions in Tudor period clothing. Can you make them out? I can, and they're giving me the chills. An entire village filled with ghosts? Things are about to get very spooky. YouTube team Paranormal Point visits a ghostly village in this scary video. Using a paranormal device, Max gets a reading near this photo of an old woman.
Сигнал высокий рядом с этой фотографией.
And when he uses a spirit box to communicate, he receives this command. Max asks who the spirit is, and she explains her story. When he asks what mistake she made, she responds with this.
Я призвала ее. Это зло.
Max verifies this information, and she adds more.
Вы призвали демона?
Да. Он в соседнем доме. Берегись, Чон.
He asks the demon's name.
Как зовут этого демона?
Бар.
Later, when he's searching for the demon, Ball, this happens.
Черт, что это такое?
Beware the black cat, it is the demon, and who knows what will happen if he crosses its path. This unidentified flying object was captured at a caravan site in Thursky, Yorkshire by Redditor C. Holly Molly. The Redditor notes that at least 7 people witnessed it, and it didn't make any noise. The weather was also normal and dry. The video goes on for a minute and a half. Some in the comments call this super interesting, while others say it might be planes or ball lightning. One Redditor shares some helpful observations. What do you think? Are these lights mounted on an invisible, unidentified flying object? I have no idea what else this could be, so I'll confirm that this is the mothership. This Randonautica adventure is bound to lead to terror. YouTube team Terror Alextremo is led to random coordinates, and it seems they are not alone. A voice quietly murmurs hello. Is someone following them? At another set of coordinates, it appears what's following them may be extraterrestrials.
Sí, sí, sí.
What was that light? Launching into the sky? An unidentified flying object? Or could there be some other logical explanation? The guys see another strange light in the darkness ahead.
No, es que no sabemos qué tan profundo esté. Ahí, mira.
No manches, ¿viste?
No. Oye, ¿es cierto eso que está pasando?
¿Eso qué es? ¿Sí lo tienes en la cámara?
Pues estoy grabando hacia allá.
But I feel this one could simply be a remote house or a station on a hill. As for the other mysterious light and the quiet hello, I'm not so sure. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by ImpressiveMany4743, this Redditor wrote, "We are not alone." The Redditor says they filmed this on their way home. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
Was out here today and seeing these stars formed up. I don't know what the hell they are. Look, a perfect triangle.
What?
And they're slowly disappearing.
Wait.
Just getting distant with us, though.
I was thinking of this kind of tied it up right how I think of it.
It's like it's but nothing.
Are those two lights a part of a much larger aircraft? I don't know for sure, but I do know that if I saw this on my way home, I'd be nothing short of terrified. When you play games with the devil, you're gonna get burned. YouTube team Taboo Paranormal are attempting to interact with a demon, and as they perform a blindfold ritual, the demon is revealed.
Я вообще ничего не вижу, и достаточно темно. Вообще что-то как-то очень неспокойно.
Watch closely while Nastia sits patiently waiting. Did you see it? A black mist moves past behind Nastia. No one is in the room with her, so I don't think that was a shadow being cast by something off screen. I believe that was pure evil behind Nastia, and I'm sure it was closer than she knows to attaching itself to her. You don't want to hear this whisper at the Whispers Estate. The YouTube channel Crossing Guard Paranormal was visiting the haunted Indiana estate when this happened.
You're sitting while we're here. Let me check.
The angry EVP sounds like it's saying, "Get out." But the team doesn't listen. This is the end of the clip, so I don't know for certain if they'll live to regret it. All I know for sure is, I'm going to stay far away from this haunted estate. At around 5 a.m., Redditor SEC126's security camera captures what appears to be a spooky apparition. See for yourself. It looks like a ghostly shape shifts into view. The Redditor says the motion sensor was triggered by this. Redditors in the comments share their theories. While some do think it's a full-body apparition passing by, I don't think the video is clear enough or long enough to tell for sure. In a dark and dreary graveyard, Franco of the YouTube channel Franco TV encounters a demon, or what he thinks may be one. Early on, he sees figures creeping around the cemetery in the darkness. Are they grave robbers or adventurers just like him? Franco continues through the graveyard.
Making my way towards the church. So far, still no sign of anyone. Not gonna lie, I thought that was a person right there.
But soon he thinks he sees someone for real.
Hola? Hola?
Did you see that? Something was peeking at him from around the corner.
Hola?
I'll let Franco tell you what he saw.
That was freaking horrifying. I literally just seen something just staring at me through the wall as I'm making my way out of here.
But maybe his eyes are just playing tricks on him.
Is that a person? Oh, that's just a rock.
Although they may be in this case, I definitely saw something earlier, peering from around the pillar. But was it a demon? Or a friendly phantom? While camping in a haunted forest at night, YouTuber Jasko experiences a paranormal microaggression. Just watch.
Can you come closer to us and like let us know? Oh, what the f? Dude, what the f? What the f just happened?
Whatever is in that dark forest, listen to Jasko's request, and then some.
Like, let us know. Like, let us know.
That looked really legit to me, especially due to the fact that he's holding his cell phone, which could have been water damaged. Who would risk it? Not many people can say they've been roughed up by a demon, but I think Jasko can. Here's a true horror story for you. Jane and Bob Dorodic lived on a horse ranch called Caspian Stables. Bob Dorodic turned up lifeless one day, and Jane was the prime suspect. But to this day, the mystery of who ended Bob's life remains unsolved. YouTube team Mackie and Amanda head to Caspian Stables to try and get to the bottom of this dark case. Their investigation is chill-inducing straight away.
Really? Like they're talking to horses, basically?
It's hiding. He's done.
And to put us all more on edge, they hear a scream.
What the was that? That was a scream.
Using some dowsing rods, they get some answers.
That was the fastest one yet.
Straighten him back out and we'll ask the next question.
Can you straighten it?
But this doesn't seem enough to confirm any theories. As they get ready to leave the creepy horse ranch, they give the spirit one last opening.
This is I guess your last chance to talk to us right here.
What did it say?
Can you say that again? Is there anything else you want to say?
She's evil.
That's what it sounds like.
She's evil. Who's evil? I think we can guess, but I don't want to point fingers based on paranormal data. The UK has its own version of the Amityville house, and Moxley's paranormal world is here to investigate it. Upon entering, Moxley immediately gets the creeps.
It just looks like something out of a classical.
In one of the rooms, a number of their devices are triggered.
Getting some spikes there. Do you not like us? Not like me sitting on the bed? Wait, it's going mad. Never put it down. Right,
Moxley notes an anomaly in this doorway, but I'm more interested in the whispers that I hear while he's talking at this moment. Listen closely.
If I was you at first,
I move and I feel somebody's right there with me. I swear to you, I feel like somebody's here. And then I hear shuffling then, like pants shuffle. Yeah.
Was it one of the other guys talking under him? But perhaps the most chilling occurrence during this investigation is what happens next.
What? What the hell is that? What the fuck is that?
Shh. Mate, that's down here. That's down here.
The guys search downstairs for the source of the scream, but find it empty. They decide to leave. I think that's the best thing they could do. That scream was terrifying, and who knows if it's real or something trying to lure them in. After setting up a security camera in their home, TikToker Flat7 Ghost captures some activity that can't be explained. Watch the set of drawers in the background.
Well, what the fuck?
The top one opens without explanation. Here it is again up close.
Hey. Adam. Well,
It would be interesting to know if this is a common occurrence with this drawer. If it is, it could be that the drawer isn't level. I'd have to see more evidence to be convinced of paranormal activity here. This may be the best unidentified flying object footage ever captured on camera, at least according to Redditor FL1P1. The Redditor writes that pilot Jorge Ortega caught this well up in the air. Judge for yourself. What in the heck was that? Some in the comments think this is a balloon, others think it's an unknown extraterrestrial aircraft. Like many are saying, I think it could be a stationary balloon that appears to be moving due to the aircraft moving, but I don't think this video is conclusive either way. I'm not sure it's the best unidentified flying object footage, but it certainly is intriguing. This house is so haunted that no one can last the night. YouTuber Adam Mark Explores tries his best too, but the challenge is more than he can handle. As he asks the spirit to make its presence known, he hears footsteps.
Move one of these chairs. Whoa.
It seems to me like the footsteps are his partners, but they do seem to continue after he stops walking. Later, he is using a recording device when he hears movement behind him.
So did touch my flatland.
Just as Matt feels that something touched him, a Steadicam captures the basement door opening.
But I don't know if it was just me overthinking it.
Not since touch, yeah.
I felt it here, like something, like my jumper moved. But it could have been, I don't know. Could have just been my mind, but...
This place is so haunted, no one can last a night. I'm surprised the guys have lasted this long. I sure wouldn't. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by the Caphead Bolthead, this Redditor wrote, I had just finished my basement with no furniture and was going to set a security camera in my basement. I had it running and noticed this. I could find the video, so I screen captured it. As far as tracking that thing, I took my phone from the computer screen and tracked it with my phone. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about. I noticed near the end of the footage a very visible flying orb that was captured on camera. I believe this is what the Redditor is referring to. Orbs can be associated with paranormal activity, but also can be digital artifacts caught on a low-resolution security camera. I don't want to jump to any conclusions here, but the flight pattern of the orb has me leaning towards the paranormal for this one. What do you think is going on here? What happens when you're marked by the devil? We're about to find out. YouTuber Lindsay of Phantomette joins forces with the fam to investigate this haunted abbey. During an Estée session, Lindsay mentions the wind and the REM pod starts going off.
The last time somebody was in here.
Feels like I've went around. I feel this going on. She can't hear it. Oh my.
Then, a moment later, this happens.
Ah! What the Yo, I am king. What the
The fam explains what happened.
As soon as you said there was a gust of wind, that thing started going off, and then you said something else, and I felt like something grabbed me back there.
When they examine him, they see the mark of the devil.
Do you see anything on my back?
You have 3 deep scratches. Are you serious? Wait. Hold on. Shine the light on this.
And how from you like grabbed me and you scratched me or something?
There's 3. You're like, there's blood.
He was scratched, but by what? I think by something that doesn't want him here. YouTube team Ghost Theory investigates the centuries-old mansion and care home, Uphill Grange in the UK. As they ask the spirits to show their presence, they almost instantly get a response.
That was pretty instant, if that was...
A few knocks, yeah?
Yeah, it was like glass.
And the knocks continue.
Did you hear the knock?
Yeah.
There was a knock.
Down a dark hallway, they hear another unexplained noise. It sounds like someone is there. On the stairs, they hear more thuds and bumps. While there was no obvious paranormal activity in this haunted mansion, I do feel something is here. The phantoms are creeping around the place, like they're in the walls. I've never seen a smoke ring do this. Redditor Dillinator40 shares this video originally posted by TikToker, The Hall Family 2018. The smoke somehow has the power to overturn a hammock. Shortly after, you can see it return in the background. Although my mind is blown, Redditors have their theories as to what's going on here. If it's just vapor, how would you explain the hammock turning over? I don't know if it's smoke or something more substantial. These prisoners are locked up for life and the afterlife. YouTube team Explore a Lot explores the UK's most haunted prison. Listen quietly, they hear a distant whistle.
No, he didn't. What the was that?
Shortly after, while doing the Estes method, you can hear a whisper of a response. Listen closely.
Did you die in this room?
A A quiet voice says yeah. It sounds to me like the immortal prisoners here are on lockdown for eternity. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Horrifyingly Haunted 3. This redditor wrote, "What the heck? Just peeked out from under the car." Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about. There was certainly some debate about this video in the comments. Some viewers initially had trouble seeing the object, but after they did, some thought it could be a cat. Since the object moves so fast, I definitely think that could be a possibility. Alternatively, could it be something more nefarious, like something tampering with their car? Which side are you on here? Let me know in the comments. YouTuber Eder Hernandez and his crew are about to enter the Devil's Cave, and what they will witness here may change them forever. The guys seem rattled as they approach the cave, and you'll see they have reason to be.
¿Oíste? Güey, ya fue adentro. ¿Podemos? Verga, mi gente. No mames, soy yo aquí en corto. Si fue ahí, si fue adentro, fue adentro.
Let's take another look at what they saw. It looks like a faceless being. As they rush away through the jungle, they catch another creature in their purview. Did you see that? Here it is again, slowly this time. There is definitely a figure standing there, but is it the devil? A third capture seems to blur the lines even more. What are these figures? I'm not sure if they're demons, skinwalkers, or the devil himself, but whatever they are, I know I don't want to get a closer look. What you're about to see defies explanation and might just haunt your dreams. What's interesting about this image is the ghostly figure it showcases. What we're seeing here is nothing short of terrifying. This image is currently trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. I came across it on a popular YouTube channel that creates content in this language, and I wanted to share it with you. It's a great example of how unique elements of horror can be found all around the world, each with its own twist. So, what do you think is going on here? And more importantly, do you think it's real or just a clever effect? Let me know down in the comments.